because your mom's got something, right?
Hello, hello, hello to nobody out there. Yes, I know. It is us. It is us, just us talking to ourselves.
Well,
It's
possibly
us.
Susanna might join us.
Yeah, my
Brandon's here.
my sister and Adam are moving, and my mom has agility that she does on Sundays for dogs, for Mira, the energetic one. So, I mean, it's good for both of them as long as my mom doesn't like fall and like hurt herself,
Which
like
is what she does.
She has done
That's her
before
thing.
and stuff. But Mira's getting really good at my mom could be far away and cue her from a distance to go to the obstacles, so she can then have more time to get to where she needs to be. Since Mira is like a lightning
demon.
bolt. Oh my God! Yes. Totally do agility with Frodo. There's like you could do agility, or there's like flyball or something. There's no audio. They can't hear Brandon?
Okay, well that sounds like it's a problem on your end.
Well, no, because we can hear Brandon.
We can hear Brandon.
And I can hear him. Hold on.
Hey,
Susie.
Suzanne's
Oh,
here.
I am dumb. All right, you should be able to hear Brandon now.
Hey, I'm back.
I left a setting on that.
Remind me to tell the joke I heard in Prague in The Hangover.
God, we're never gonna write it down. Write it down. You know I don't remember. We don't even remember.
Who told the joke? Was I there?
So Martin told it to me, then I told it to you.
Okay. Don't
You remember
said
that
joke.
You don't remember said
do not
joke?
remember.
Okay. Well, Hangover.
I will need to change certain words so it's not mean to countries. But
Susanna
Unless
says
it's
it's time
this
to drink
country.
up, so everybody's got to drink up.
all right,
We gotta drink up. Okay.
One drink.
Should I start the show and then we'll drink? Oh, we're just gonna drink up. Okay.
new rule.
Yeah, well,
When Susanna
no.
says it's time to drink.
No, absolutely not.
no.
Nope.
Nope.
Although that'd be fun. Like,
Do we want another black hole episode? No.
but it would be fun. Like once an episode, people listening could tell us to drink randomly. That's kind of you get like one ticket.
I mean, yeah, one
Susanna
time
wants
to get
to be
one
in the
time.
rule.
That would be kind of fun.
It would be kind of fun since we
Alright.
have just like
I
a
mean, it
limited
could
audience
be a
anyway.
new rule for Susanna, but it has to be like 10-minute windows. You know?
Everybody just
So
we're just
every
pounding
10 minutes,
it.
we now hop and we're drinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
Brandon
Brandon knows what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Brandon, cue
Well,
me.
it's probably just going to be you, Susanna, because everybody else is doing stuff.
Yeah, everybody's busy on
Living.
I know, living their lives, doing their things.
All right. I don't know.
All right,
what that
ready?
is.
Yeah, cue me up.
And then 5, 4.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cosmos with Cosmos. I'm Liz.
I'm Mike.
I'm Brandon.
Pew pew, not on assignment. Yay! They're both back. In fact, oh no, we did a show.
Yeah.
We did one episode last.
This
last
is
episode.
my first show in like I think 6 months.
It's been a while since Brandon's been on with
Yeah,
us.
that's what it feels like. All right, so we did it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was me and you.
Yes.
Then
And I was
we had taken
driving.
2 weeks off
Yeah.
because
you both
we
were on
in
assignment.
Prague, so it was 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, so it's been a while, but we're back with a high in the sky for April of 2025. And it's currently actually April.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
I know
in
we're
April.
a little late with this one, just with how things lined up. But what are you drinking?
Oh, we're doing that. Brandon, what are you drinking?
Okay, I am drinking Wildixia
Hey,
because the gold color in the tequila sunrise and the gold color in my backup drink, which is the Kagan limited release of Japanese blended whiskey, which is also gold.
Ooh, I like. Wait, show that bottle. That's a nice bottle. Yeah,
Nice.
it's got the
Japanese
wave,
art.
wave on it.
Does it say how long? The other Japanese bottle said the distillery opened like 1846.
I love it.
Neat.
I love that. And we are drinking
The
the Lemon Drop
Drop
Nebula,
Nebula.
which is actually called a lemon meringue pie. Adam provided this recipe to us last night from a recipe from a
Some
restaurant
bar.
he went out to.
restaurant.
restaurant, bar, whatever. And so
Damn, that looks nice.
Mike made one, and tell the people what is in the drink.
Well, what is in it is lemon juice, simple syrup, whipped cream vodka, and lemon vodka, which apparently is hard to find in Oak Ridge. But I did find it. And so that's what's in it. And an egg white for frothiness. Do
Naturally.
A dry shake.
meringue.
Oh, so it's $1 million drink.
Yeah. Do a quick dry shake with it to get the frothiness. Add a little ice, shake it, and we have a Brandon.
A Brandon rim.
Hell yeah. Wait.
A graham cracker rim.
Graham cracker rim. That's
So-
the pie crust. For
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lemon
and
meringue.
so,
so cozy.
It's supposed to taste like a lemon meringue pie.
It feels like springtime's the right time for this drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. It's nice and refreshing, although
I
it's
feel like
raining out today.
anytime is right for this drink.
It's a good dessert
refreshing.
drink. It's refreshing, but it's not too sweet. It's not overpoweringly sweet where you can only have one, but dangerously enough that you would have more than one. If that made any sense at all. Anyway,
Yeah, show astronomy.
if you like it when
Awesome
we
stuff.
don't make sense, follow
Well,
us on all the
first-
things.
Yeah, but Brandon needs to make a candle with that bottle.
I have a lot of candles,
Oh,
including.
that's what Susanna says in chat. Yeah.
I like the candle that just says "fuck,"
Yes, that's appropriate candle. It's appropriate candle.
and then I also enjoy this candle that says "May the bridges I burn light the way."
Yes, I like
I have,
that.
I have a whole bunch of these.
I like that. We need to really get it back on our
I think-
candle game.
I think fuck
Malicious
just
women.
says it all right now.
What?
Malicious women candles.
Malicious women candles.
That's my go-to.
I like a good malicious woman.
All right,
Anyway,
social media. Sorry, I interrupted. I thought
follow
that was a cool idea.
us on all the things at Drinking Cosmos on Twitter and Cosmos everywhere else, but more so use everywhere else. Check out our hangover episodes where we basically just shoot the shit after a main episode, and also our shots of astronomy science. The shot every other Wednesday, short form topical astronomy science for you. And also follow some of our good friends, Katie on Ixia, Wildixia, if you want some fantastic artwork. She's still working on your piece, Brandon. She's working on it. She's getting there. She's working on it. She's, it's a process.
rush.
She's an artiste. Follow the real Mr. Proctor on YouTube. And, of course, our good buddy Jack in Council Bluffs, Iowa at the rollingbluffsplanetarium.com. If you're in the area, check out a show from him. Of course, we do have some rules, rules, drinking game rules for the show. If you hear any dogs barking, take a drink. And if we get nerdy and make any references to Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, take a drink.
Starting now.
And if any
References
cats,
to any tattoos, though.
Oh, yeah.
Will not.
why don't you
be
show
able
off
drink.
to the masses your new tattoo?
Shiny.
It's
There we
very
go.
shiny because of the second skin.
Because it's, it's
but,
protected.
it's not really that shiny in real life.
Yeah.
But there it is. It is the rebel symbol eclipsing the empire symbol, which has a lot of
Yes.
symbolism for today's world.
Resistance is not futile.
Yep.
It's not futile.
We're going to
Like
combine
how I move.
Star
Yeah,
Trek and
we're
Star
going
Wars
to.
with this.
We should. It's one and the same. Okay.
Yeah, and Star Trek's going to go over here.
Yeah.
There we go.
You got to represent the nerddoms. All right, are you guys ready to get high in the sky? One of these
Where else
days
do
we
you
should
get high at?
smoke some blunts while we do it or something. I don't know.
I don't know how much my neighbors would like that.
Yeah, well, that's when next time you're here and we do
Brandon-
this.
Okay, there we go. There we
We're
go.
Brandon
legal.
would end up in jail.
We're not smoking too, Susanna. All right, so High in the Sky for April 2025 with our High in the Skies. We like to start out with a little constellation highlight. And this time I thought I'd go a little down under
Oh, boy.
to the southern hemisphere, mate.
Are you...
Keep it going. Just
Okay,
keep it
no,
going.
you have to do all of it now.
It's not the only country in the southern hemisphere.
No, but all of them have accents.
G'day,
so,
mate. I can't
pick
do
the
any
accent you
other-
can do.
Good day, mate. We're talking about... Nope. All right. It's the chameleon.
Oh, Pokemon.
Chameleon. This is a southern circumpolar constellation.
So
So,
you really have to be south.
You really gotta be south.
Yeah.
You gotta be south.
You gotta be way down under.
So yeah, which Australia counts. Australia makes it. And so it's like our circumpolar constellations that we're familiar with in the northern hemisphere are like Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, the big and little bears. And within the Big Bear, or part of its tail, is the North Star. Now in the southern hemisphere, there is no South Star.
Right
now. There will be eventually, as the Earth wobbles on its axis called precession, and that changes the positions on the stars on our sky from our viewpoint. So one day there will be a North Star, but there isn't one now. But Chameleon is a circumpolar constellation. It is close to the South Pole, so it's visible basically at night all year round. If you happen to, go to Antarctica, or
you don't have to go that
if
far.
you're going to
Where the
collect
penguins live.
if you're going to collect the terrorists from
You
the
know what?
penguins, then
I
go.
think St. Charles Island is a great place to see all this.
Yeah.
Nothing but penguins there.
nothing but penguins all the way down.
They're tariffs.
Penguins all the way.
I
Yeah.
saw there was a fun sign that said, "We waddle at dawn."
That counts,
That's
right?
awesome.
That's
That's
one.
awesome.
Yes, take a drink for that one.
Oh, we got to take a drink now?
Yeah.
All right. Every time I say, "What protest signs did I see yesterday?" We'll take a drink.
Well, that just sounded like we ride at dawn, like it was. I guess it's anyway. So Chameleon. There are 4 bright stars that form a small diamond shape.
Only 4?
Only 4. That those are the brightest stars that form the small diamond shape of this constellation. I don't
Okay.
know how. I guess you get a chameleon out of it, but how do you get anything out of any of the constellations? I don't know.
I can see the Dipper.
Yeah, okay, but
I
the
had to
dipper
think,
is something
oh,
that
no.
dips. But what about a bear?
No, don't worry
That's
about that.
that's a little bit of a stretch.
Chameleon.
So, Chameleon, you have the 4 stars are Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and Delta.
So not only
All
just 4
quadrants in Star
stars,
Trek.
these are stars not even bright enough to actually
They don't
get a name.
Yeah, they don't have. Well, they're yeah. A lot of the southern ones get left out of the fancy names because most
We
of the
should
star
change
names are
that.
made by astronomers in the northern hemisphere. But so Alpha. I'm gonna say Alpha Chameleon because the Latin version of it or whatever was I was like I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it, so we're just gonna go with Chameleon. It's a white star, 63 light years away. Beta is a blue white star, 271 light years away. Gamma is a red giant. It's dying on the 413 light years away, and Delta is a double star. It's not one but
cool.
2. And it's not a binary, so a double star is not necessarily a binary star. They're not in orbit around each other. They're 2 separate stars that basically look like one. And you need a good enough telescope to resolve
So if they're both
the 2
350
stars.
light years away, generally in the same place, they're pretty close. To
They
each other,
are,
though.
yeah. They're roughly all the same 350 light years away. So, yeah, but yeah, one's a blue star, big blue star, one's an orange giant star. So, yeah, it's dying. It's red giants are dying stars. They're on their way out. They're running out of fuel, and so they can't maintain one of my favorite terms, hydrostatic equilibrium. The balance between the gravity and the outward radiation. And so that gravity is losing the battle a little bit of holding on to its kind of like extra gases, and they're fluffing off it.
Read the chat.
I thought the stars in Chameleon change color.
Yes.
That's good. They should. That would be great. Well, they will over many
Look at Eric being all
millions
British with
of
his color.
years. Yeah, that's not how you spell color. Oh, well, he's Canadian, right?
He's Canadian.
Do they
yeah.
use British spelling in
Sure.
Canada?
Maybe Eric can answer that.
Eric, in Canada, do they use British spelling?
Canada?
Yes, that's how I'm calling it now. I do like British spellings. Like, I like how they spell color, and
Yeah.
they use like a
And how they say aluminum.
aluminium.
Yeah, I can't even say it.
Aluminium.
Anyway,
I
did
gotta.
you answer the question about
They don't.
the red giant?
Yeah, I was talking about how it's.
I was
doing
color.
like a really like compact stellar evolution kind of explanation, but there's a lot to get into with that. So maybe we'll do a little bit. I love stellar evolution, so Susie and I could easily go on like a roll on it.
Yeah.
But just it's dying, it's fluffing off its outer layers, and the core. I think it's a sun-like star. I didn't look at the mass of it, but it mostly turned into a white dwarf. Okay. some other deep space objects. In fact, there's when we get to the astronomy news section, there's something else that's going to pop up that's in Chameleon.
Oh, cool.
But some other deep space objects are Cha. 110913. This is a dwarf star or a proto-solar system. We don't quite know. It is 529 light years away. I think I read it was like discovered in 1999 or 1994 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't really know exactly what it is. It's kind of fuzzy, but it's hanging out there. Oh, it was discovered in 1994 because this next one, there's an open star cluster that was discovered in 1999.
When I originally read the notes, I read it as potato solar system.
Solar system. Because we're pet sitting my sister's cat, Potato.
Yeah,
it's the
I
potato.
think I just looked at potato too.
Close.
So your brain was like potato.
Potato solar system.
Potato could be a proto black hole, actually. She's a black cat.
Weird shaped thing. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so Ada,
Alpha, beta,
Ada,
Ada.
Ada Chameleontis cluster or Mamjack 1.
Mamjack. That sounds very...
Mamjack sounds familiar. I feel like we've talked about Mamjack before.
It sounds very like Star Trek.
What did you say?
It sounds very like Star Trek, Mamjack.
It does. I was going to say
on the Mamjack 1.
Just like
it's like a Klingon ship or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a Romulan Mamjack. I don't know.
It sounds Klingon to me.
It does. It's 8 million years old, this open star cluster. For a comparison, just as far as what an open star cluster is, the Pleiades here in the northern hemisphere is an open star cluster.
I know what it sounds like. There's this game that Picard played when he was in the academy, and the Narsicans stabbed him, and it was something like, it sounded, if I remember right, it sounded something like...
So it is. So still Star Wars related.
I will say that Mamjack did get his PhD in Arizona.
Hey, Arizona, hotbed of astronomy research. Not just a hot asphalt desert of pain. So this open star cluster, which is basically a grouping of stars, they form together out of the same cloud of gas and dust, and they're just slowly like spreading out from each other and living their own lives, going their separate waves. Again, 8 million years old and 316 light years away.
Cool.
And this constellation has many molecular clouds known as the Chameleon dark clouds, which is the name of my second drink, Guinness. The dark molecular Guinness cloud.
And those molecular clouds really mess with your sensors when they go through deep space like that.
They do. So these molecular clouds, they're forming low mass T Tauri stars, which are variable stars that are less than about 10 million years old. So they're younger stars.
Just a pep in their step.
Yeah. These molecular clouds are between 400 and 600 light years away, and they contain tens of thousands of solar masses of gas and dust.
That's a lot of dust.
A lot of gas and dust.
That's like a lot of Leia gas out there.
It's a lot. After Leia's been like eating a lot of grass. Now, when I was looking this up, I almost went down a rabbit hole because it said that they're located at the surface of the local bubble. And I was like, local bubble? Bubbles in space? What are we doing? So, just briefly, a super bubble or a super shell is a cavity that's hundreds of light years across and populated with hot gas atoms. It's less dense than the surrounding interstellar medium. And it blown against that medium and carved out by multiple supernova and stellar winds.
You know, what's weird is I just got a notification on my phone saying that there's hot gas atoms near me. So this is very exciting.
You swipe left or swipe right?
On the gas side?
So I was thinking that maybe like something like these like these local bubbles and stuff, or even Laniakea, like a good like main topics. We haven't talked about kind of a lot about the interstellar medium and this kind of like.
I had a thought about the next episode, which is what I name my drink. So we'll see how I feel about that.
Okay. Well, it's up to you. All right. So these dark clouds of just, hot gas, basically, they fill the majority of this constellation, actually go into other constellations that are surrounding it.
This small constellation, though,
It's a
right?
small constellation. I know it's a small constellation, but still, space cavities. You got space cavities.
It's a consolation prize.
It's because the universe has outlawed putting fluoride.
Fluoride, yeah.
That's just Utah, guys.
That's the universe, Brandon.
That's fair.
Okay. Now, normally with constellations, we talk about the mythology with constellations.
Yes, what stories do we have for
There
us
are
today?
none!
Stories.
No mythology.
Huh.
Okay, most of the constellations in the southern hemisphere are not from the ancient Greeks or ancient civilizations that give us all the fun stories that we have. A lot were kind of mapped out by later astronomers.
That we tell.
There's a lot of constellations from Polynesian culture and everything like that.
And we don't tell those because they're not white people.
Well, yes, okay, I know. We're very western and northern.
Yes.
So it's one of 12 constellations created by Petrus Plancius. Petrus Plancius?
Say it with confidence.
Petrus Plancius.
Nice.
It sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
It does. Petrus Plancius. It first appeared on a celestial globe published in 1597 or 1598 in Amsterdam by Plancius.
To the airport in Amsterdam.
So then John Bayer, he was the first celestial cartographer or uranographer. I was like, that's got to mean something else. Uranographer is another name for a
uranographer, Harry.
Anyway, he was the first to put it on like a celestial atlas or map, and but there's a little bit of other cultures that have like recognized the stars, at least in this constellation. In Chinese astronomy, the stars were classified as the Little Dipper among the southern asterism, and then sometimes in Australia, mate, it's called the Frying Pan.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I don't know what happened with Pan there. I really can't do. G'day, mate. Pan.
No, that's all you can do.
Frying pan.
No.
Where's the cat?
Foster's
Nope.
Australian for beer.
Okay.
You got Wedge.
Weege. So, chameleon, if you go to the deep southern hemisphere, not the deep south of America, but the deep southern hemisphere of the world, it's one of those constellations you can see. So if you're going to New Zealand or Australia, you should be able to see it, I would assume, I think.
Or
Yeah.
Chile or Argentina.
Or Chile, Argentina. Yeah, there are other countries. South Africa. I know no African countries. South Africa.
I'm wondering if you could be close to the equator but north and still
See it a little bit.
I don't know how far away from.
I don't. I will
see.
be
The
a
only one-
circumpolar constellation. I
The,
think it's
the only one I knew I saw was Southern Cross.
Oh well,
I
yeah, and that's.
Everything else, yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on how far away it is.
I would think that the equator might be too far for it, but I don't know. I do not know. I'm not an expert in these. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Anyway, so chameleon. If you're going south, if you live in the south, check it out.
Yeah, you south
Of the globe.
You're not going to be able to see it in Phoenix, which is south of here, but
Yeah, I meant in the
well, no,
southern
I
hemisphere.
just wanted to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a whole sky, though. There's a whole sky. Oh, Mr. Frodo. Look at that puppy. Look at him. He's so cute. We have a whole sky of things in April, such as... Susanna just says in chat, dog.
But excited, it's Mr. Frodo.
We have planets for April. Planets
Planetes.
up there. Mercury will be low on the eastern horizon before around dawn in the second half of the month. If you have things on your horizon, though, good luck.
Like us.
Yeah, good luck. Venus will be the bright morning star, rising low in the east before dawn and getting higher in the morning sky throughout the month. So, look to the east on the fourth day
Oh, God damn it.
after the...
Oh, God.
I'm proud of us. We never once did a potatoes reference. We're talking about potato for 5 minutes, so
We didn't, but every
it's
time
well
I
done.
say her name, I'm like, potato. Now
Is that another drink?
No. Mars, it's hanging out all night long.
All
night.
all night long. Okay.
It's chilling. It'll set a couple
These guys
hours
will
after
never
midnight.
Get a recording contract.
No. It'll set a couple hours after midnight. Jupes!
Jupes.
Look to the west all month after sunset. It sets 3 hours after sunset. So you can still
Excellent.
see it. It's been up for a bit. It's been visible for past few months.
Yeah, not for us though. It's too cloudy.
Well, no, we've seen it. We saw it.
And
We
then-
broke
and
out
then
our
we're
telescope
like,
and we
"Oh,
saw
I'm too
it.
tired to take telescope.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's just our laziness. Saturn hanging out with Venus.
Nice.
Late April.
Nice.
April.
And the fun thing about the planets is I finally saw Gustav Holst's Planets live in orchestra this last week.
How was it?
Oh, nice.
It was delightful. And of course, when you hear Jupiter bring a Javadi, all you hear is the demo that you
the
made in
demo,
Arizona. And it was the best.
Oh my gosh.
It made me so
I gotta
happy.
redo that one.
The only thing that sucks is it's about astrology.
Well, yeah, that's fine,
Yeah,
but you
take a
can
drink for that.
repurpose things.
That's true. We know. We apply it to real planets and not astrology.
I also learned he has a delightful suite composed to Walt Whitman.
Oh.
Oh,
Just curious. Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I learned that the other day, too.
That's all you. Anytime we're watching Jeopardy and a classical music category comes up, I'm like, where's Brandon? Or baseball. Where's Brandon?
Oh, I
Or-
love the baseball-
Or books.
baseball topics.
Where's Brandon? All right, we do have a couple events in April. It's not really an active month in terms of like cool shit happening in the sky, other than the entire sky just is
There we
always
go.
cool and awesome and amazing to look at. But April 12th is the full moon. It's called the pink moon. I forgot to actually look up what the pink moon means. I think it's.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with salmon. I don't know. Salmon do something in April. That's what I'm gonna guess the pink moon means. But April 24th through 25th, Venus, Saturn, and a thin crescent moon are going to be chilling in the morning sky low in the east. So you can go outside if you want to wake up early and see that trifecta of what I'm sure will be a very pretty sight. And it's been a bit, but we have Meteor Watch
made it.
2025, the Lyrid meteor shower, which appear to originate from the constellation of Lyra the Harp. They will be active from the 14th through 30th of April, but peak on the 21st through 22nd of April. However, there will be a nearly full moon because they had a full moon on the 12th, so it's still going to be like a gibbous phase, and so boo, it's going to block, a good majority. If it was dark, you would see about 10 to 25 per hour. So
in Phoenix, nothing.
Nothing.
you might
Yeah.
catch a little
Salt
bit.
Lake,
Yeah.
not a lot.
This meteor shower comes from Comet Thatcher, discovered by Alfred E. Thatcher from the NYC.
Neat.
So
From New
yeah,
York City?
not that Thatcher. What other Thatcher?
Margaret?
Oh, that Thatcher. Okay, yeah, not that Thatcher. And it was discovered in 1861. This comet has a 416-year orbit, so it gets pretty far out there. Not as
So
far as
are we basically like halfway through right now? It's orbital period, so we'll have the weakest Lyrids.
It'll reach perihelion.
No.
No, because
No,
we're still
not weakest. I take it back. Yeah.
we're still passing through its tail. We won't see it again for quite some time. It'll reach perihelion, its closest point to the sun, in 2283. So mark your
And
calendars.
How do you remember what perihelion means?
Hey,
Pe-
Federico's here.
Perry. I just know
Oh,
I don't know.
it's very close.
Oh. All right. Okay. Break for a second here. The pink moon is named after moss phlox or creeping phlox,
Oh,
among the first flowers to bloom in spring, bearing
Damn.
pink,
Oh,
purple,
that's
and white
nice.
hues.
okay.
But Federico says the April new moon is significant for Easter calculations, so we can eat chocolate eggs.
Yeah,
chocolate
Cadbury egg
eggs.
season.
Oh, I saw this delightful thing of having the hollow milk chocolate rabbit, right?
Uh-huh.
and then you cut the head off, and then you make an espresso martini inside of the chocolate rabbit.
Okay.
But
Yes.
you got to wait for that espresso to cool, though, right?
No, it's just like a regular espresso. Or basically, it's just a fancy espresso martini. You don't need to actually make the espresso hot. You still have it chilled.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, make it cold.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
espresso martini.
Yeah.
My brain just went espresso
You
hot.
go shaky, 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 and then
Pour.
strain.
I
Well,
like
strain,
I like that
strain.
idea.
That's where
But
the
then
ice goes
okay,
in.
but then you're drinking out of a headless rabbit.
I don't see the issue.
All right.
Fuck them rabbits.
I'm down. All right. Well, if we
give
got
me some chocolate.
we have an episode on Easter.
Wait a minute, when is Easter
We should
this year?
the
I don't.
I just remember
'cause-
looking at the calendar, and we should have an
So
episode on
the
Easter.
next one's 420.
So it's Easter for some people.
It is Easter. Well, no, that is Easter. That's Easter Sunday. It's 420.
Is it really?
Yes. Oh my God.
All right, this is a big shoes to fill.
We know what we're making for our drinks. Headless Easter.
Okay.
Headless bunny. Espresso martinis.
Somebody needs to write this down.
Write it down. We'll never remember it. I'm just eating graham cracker off my rim. My drink here.
God, the one thing I hate is hearing tappy, tappy, tappy. through
Sorry,
the-
I muted it. But it's
You know
too
what's
late.
funny is I like the sound of keyboard
know.
clicks.
I know.
All right, I know. We
What?
have- we
And
have
then, like,
different
I'll hear you
quirks.
just banging,
Oh,
and I have to put my headphones on,
There we go.
crank
I
up
have
a
like
little
a soft
All right.
keyboard too. Anyway,
Lord of the Rings with, like, just
Wait, ready?
dramatic ass music.
Yes.
Ready? Beep, 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 beep.
tonight on April for Astronomy News 2025, we have Web Unmasked True Nature of the Cosmic Tornado Spiral Galaxy from MSN.com.
Oh my God!
I
All
stuck with
right.
that. I stuck with that for a little bit.
Yeah, that was good.
It's not just an article on MSN. I just happened to, you know what? I tested out the fucking Copilot AI on the computer, and I was like, "Give me 10 astronomy or recent astronomy news articles," but then it defaulted him to like their MSN's like
of course.
website instead. I was like, all right, whatever. But anyway, so the cosmic tornado. I got a picture for you guys. We got some pictures coming in here. Cosmic
Oh, yeah.
tornado right here.
What Lord of the
Wait,
Rings
wait.
reference did I miss?
What reference did we make?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
As we all just
We just
we
stopped.
just stop.
Just waiting.
Stop. Oh my
Just,
god.
Like
And nobody
on
can see us,
bated
though. All they
breath
see
or
is this
whatever
really cool
Shazana
picture.
tells us.
Okay.
Well, I guess none now
well,
live who remember the reference.
Oh, she just says, I don't know. I heard Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Okay. Yes, we know. Just to clarify, Easter is the first Sunday after the first full moon after the 21st March spring equinox. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a convoluted
Yeah,
bullshit
okay.
way of telling when something is, but it's 420 this year, guys. So it's gonna be a good Easter, let me tell you. So the cosmic tornado. All right, this is an image from James Webb Space Telescope. It's a combination of the NIRCam, the near infrared camera, and MIRI, the mid infrared instrument. It is of Herbig-Haro 49/50, located 630 light years from Earth in the constellation of Chameleon.
No fucking shit.
Boo! Yeah. Oh, Katie's joining us. She's got us on her phone while they finish packing. Cool. So this is a part of the, it's located in the Chameleon 1 cloud complex. So one of those dark molecular cloud
that
areas
are just all over the place.
that are everywhere. What you're seeing, the outflows can extend for light years, and it's plowing into denser like regions of material, and this creates like shock waves that are heating the material to high
Neat.
temperatures. And then the material cools by emitting light at visible and infrared wavelengths. So that is kind of like what we're seeing here. But what we're also seeing is like at the top left of it is a spiral galaxy that just happens to be there. And the alignment of it makes it look like it's coming from the spiral galaxy, but it's not
But look
at
at
all.
all the
That's
other
cool.
galaxies that are in this
Yeah, I know.
picture.
In the image, you see some galaxies that are like
They're
behind the that gas and dust being
I was
heated
gonna
up.
go, look, like right there.
Oh my god, there's so many galaxies. I know. And
But
then
nobody can see where I'm pointing.
that's true, yeah. And then the stars that have like that, like they look like, you know, stars you would draw or whatever. Those are like in our galaxy, and
Right.
those are the lines are kind of artifacts from the
Wait a minute, who took
telescope.
this picture?
Webb.
Webb. And so that's that has to do with the number
With
of
the mirrors.
spikes, right?
Yeah, with the
The
mirrors.
spikes,
Yeah, with the
so-
mirrors. The spikes have to do with the mirrors.
Right, but what I'm saying is like the number of
Oh,
spikes.
how many mirrors that the telescope has?
Yeah. But it has more
One, two.
mirrors. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway,
Whatever.
So this outflow here is moving away from us at speeds of 62 to 182 miles per second, and it's just part of like a larger outflow of material here.
Just imagine how quickly we could get to Eugene going that speed. Would we get a ticket? They wouldn't be able to
They wouldn't
stop
be able
us.
to catch us. They wouldn't be able to stop us. So that is some new data, new stuff that has come out from James Webb, which is I just honestly was like, this is a really cool image. This is really something that's fun. In other news, Saturn. While it's not king of the planets in size, it is the king of moons in the solar system. Saturn has now, it has had 128 new moons.
New moons. That's
New
on top
moons.
of
In
That's
addition. In
Wow.
addition, 128 new moons, meaning its total moon count is now at 274. The previous record holder was Jupes at 95 moons.
Hey.
So Saturn, best planet, says Susanna. Mike, you would agree? It's your favorite planet.
It wasn't the king. I mean, it wasn't the previous record holder.
Jupiter used to be known as having the most moons.
It did, and then Saturn took over.
And Saturn overtook it.
Right, and then with its 120, and then it 128. I don't know, roughly. That's it had like 150 moons to Jupiter's 95. So Saturn's been it, and now it's just like piling on.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
just saying
take
that
this,
for a
Jupiter.
long time, Jupiter was the record holder. But guess what? Telescopes have gotten better. We've been able to see more shit. And so a lot of these moons of Saturn's are actually very small, very faint. And these newer ones especially, so we don't really know any... Sorry, I have graham cracker on my lip. So we don't really know any like characteristics about these moons. However, these moons help to bolster the hypothesis that they come from a massive collision that happened about 100 million years ago or so. And so these are pieces from that collision.
What was also left over from that collision?
Rings.
Wow.
Rings,
I
yes.
hope Saturn has some comet.
To clean those rings up? Bathtub rings. These moons are found using the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope. It's actually one of the largest optical and infrared telescopes in the world at 12 feet
Yes,
wide.
Canada.
And what they did was they took 44 photos of Saturn over 3-hour exposures over 3 months, basically. And they used a shift and stack procedure, so they combined everything into one image so they could see what has moved, basically. But they could only do this during new moons and not a full moon, because a full moon blocked observation of Saturn because the moon's so fucking bright. Reflecting all that sunlight that should kill vampires, but for some reason doesn't. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a loophole that we need to address at some point.
So they were able to spot these moons. They were able to tell that they were moons based on where they were, the movements. But again, they're so faint, and they don't really, they don't know any characteristics about them yet. So TBD. TBD.
Determined.
TBD.
All right.
More research needed, as always. Always more research needed.
Can I just say that Susanna says that Saturn is the best planet, but she also says Pluto doesn't want to hear anything about it.
All right,
though. But I can say, Susanna, that that Saturn is the best regular planet and Pluto is the best dwarf planet.
Mm-hmm.
So you
100%.
have both worlds, best of both worlds.
Check out our episode on Pluto. I'm sure we have one.
I got to stand up for Neptune as the best planet, though.
Oh,
Neptune,
good Neps.
Neptune is excellent.
I mean, Neptune is cool because of the way it was discovered.
Yeah, it has a sky. It has the
Math.
fastest
Love
winds in
how
the
it was
solar
discovered.
system.
Because of math.
Because it was math.
Because you're a math nerd.
It was basically, I know we've
Yes.
told this, but Uranus was discovered, right? And so Uranus'
right.
orbit, based on Newton's, like, it's not showing up where it's supposed to be. So something's got to be pulling on it. And so some mathematicians figured out exactly where that object would be.
And then they pointed a telescope and they were like, "Oh,
and they found it in a night.
Oh shit, math works, guys."
They found it in a night. It was great.
It's cool. Now, I will say though that Neptune does, I think, have one of the coolest moons in the solar system, which is Triton. It's got geysers that fucking blow over at 90 degrees, and nobody knows fucking why that's happening.
No idea why.
It's crazy.
But what else is Triton doing? It's going around Neptune backwards.
Oh, right, yeah. So it was captured.
So what does that mean?
It's sinking in like a drain.
Oh yeah, it's gonna fall into Neptune. I forgot about that part.
Yes.
But
so
not in our lifetime.
let's continue our episode on Neptune.
No. We have more news.
Yeah, because Susanna loves
this
it.
This one I thought was interesting, that the cosmic fog lifted earlier than expected from skyandtelescope.com. The cosmic fog. We had a cosmic fog in the early dawn of the universe. Things were a little foggy. New observations showed that the universe's first light penetrated the fog of the cosmic dark ages just 330 million years after the Big Bang, earlier than previously thought. Basically, after the Big Bang, Federico says, still thinking Earth is the best one. The only one we know for sure there's alcohol in it. Look, you can make alcohol out of methane, right?
Yeah, but dogs
and dogs and cats.
All right. Okay. Yes, but
and elk.
Look, Earth, best one because life is on
not
it.
Earth.
But coolest planet,
Bill,
I don't
Earth's
know.
on fire right now.
Earth's a fucking dumpster fire, is what it is. Caused by us.
I didn't say it was a good fire.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Earth is super cool. Humans are dumpster fire on Earth. Anyway, so the expanding universe after the Big Bang, it turned into like this dark fog, which was mostly neutral hydrogen and helium atoms, which is called the cosmic dark ages, which I think is fun. And so only after you had like these first like really massive stars form, and then you had the fledgling galaxies born, that you have the cosmic dawn. And that's when high energy radiation started to slowly like lift the fog, but it's really like evaporating the fog basically, right?
Pretty much.
And as it ionized the intergalactic gas that was there. So basically, nuclei and electrons were like ripped apart, and into a like plasma of charged particles, according to the article I quote, because that's way too scientific and smart for me to just like come out naturally from my brain and to my mouth.
There's a lot of big words there. I mean, you're a bunch of humble pirates.
Yeah. So James Webb, of course, it made observations of a very small galaxy. Very small galaxy. Itty-bitty galaxy. That is so distant that the light we see today was emitted when the universe was just 330 million years old.
Oh, very good year.
As Joris
Almost
Wistock,
as old as I am.
Joris Wittstock of the Niels Bohr Institute in Denmark, he's the study lead. He says that even to James Webb, JWST, it's a point source. Like, it's a point source. Like, that's how resolved the galaxy is. It's a point source, basically. And it's 230 light years across, yet this galaxy, it somehow produces so much high energy radiation that many hydrogen atoms in the local interstellar gas are being ionized. They don't know the source of that radiation yet.
Oh, okay.
But the fact that this galaxy is visible at all in the spectrum implies that the epoch of reionization, or the cosmic dawn, as I talked about earlier, had already begun when the universe was 330 million years old. Previously, it was 380 million years.
That's the name of my next album, The Epoch of Reionization.
I like it. Mm-hmm. It sounds very like God is an astronaut.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what it should be. Yeah.
By the way, you have to take a drink.
You missed it.
I did.
You missed it. There was a Lord of the Rings reference.
Okay.
Quite a good one, too.
What was it?
You said 30 million years after the Big Bang, and I said very good year. And Mike came home and slam dunked it.
And damn it.
And then I said, almost as old as I am.
You did not, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Wow, I'm
focused
as
I
the
even
host.
said it loud, didn't I?
Right? I'm just.
Yeah, I thought so.
I guess
Okay.
I finally learned how to filter out your banter.
Wow. Wow. Awesome.
We all need that
You
ability.
do it to me all the time. You guys both do it
You
to me.
can move that over there.
Okay, next article. All right, so Cosmic Dawn happened earlier than expected. Thank you, James Webb. The Fram-2 astronauts splashed down after historic polar spaceflight from astronomy.com. All right, so this was an international 4-person crew. They returned after 4 days in space, observing Earth's poles from orbit for
these are
the
the
first
dudes that
time.
went over
These
the
are a
poles.
bunch of rich people that bought a ticket onto this
I don't think
space
we should
flight.
even give them the
They are
the thing,
civilian
the bandwidth.
astronauts, which they are civilian rich people. Chun Wang, Janaki Mickelson, Rabia Roge, and Eric Phillip. Wang, for example, he was the lead. He was the mission commander. What
does he do?
He's a crypto entrepreneur, and he purchased the intended 3 to 5 day mission from SpaceX in August.
And he quote unquote commanded the mission.
And he was the commander.
Can we not give them the bandwidth? Unless there's like some highlights.
My next bullet point was feelings and thoughts on this.
It was the first time humans have done circumpolar orbit like that.
Yeah, but I think that's all we ought to give them.
They orbited the Earth 55 times, and their core objective was to fly a 90-degree polar orbit.
They did it.
They did it. It was the first time.
But you know
Yay.
what? We did bring those two that were stranded on the ISS.
Let's rephrase that. Let's rephrase it altogether. They were not
We
stranded.
brought them
They were
home.
not. They were not stranded.
They were
It
absolutely
was-
not stranded.
They were not
That
stranded.
is bigger news than these fuckers.
So this civilian crew of, I don't even want to call them astronauts because it's not fair
They're
to
not.
astronauts.
They're not. And
That
I don't-
train
Let's
and
call them
smart.
astro-tourists.
Tell them the
Astrotourists.
22 experiments that they did,
Astrotourists.
and let's move on.
Okay, so they did 22 experiments. Oh wow, it's been so long since we've had a dog bark
You're
drink.
welcome.
Which, growing mushrooms microgravity, I guarantee you has been done on the space station.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, the 22 experiments designed to study long duration human spaceflight, from growing mushrooms in microgravity to producing the first X-ray images taken in space.
Okay,
and
so
then
if I may, really quick, because my drink's almost gone here. So they are doing tests on muscle and bone density loss, which of course has been the whole point of the space station. But this is SpaceX doing it for like the first time, and they want to go to Mars in a couple years, and they don't know how muscle and bone density loss impacts people.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't gonna do that if
Hey.
you don't know how it impacts the body.
hey,
But
SpaceX, you know
these
where you're
people were
going?
up there for 4 days.
Fucking nowhere.
These people were there for 4 days.
You know who was up there for a very long time? The twin brother of Mark Kelly.
Yes.
Who's probably gonna run one day. Let's be real.
And they
These
did a
people-
fantastic experiment between the twin brothers on the differences
Yeah.
of their physiology
And-
after one spent so long in space and, the other was
the
on Earth.
way I remember it between Mark and Scott, which one was up there, is that Scott was in space. It's the alliteration.
Oh, Scott
But
Space.
Mark was
Of course,
on
now
space,
now it's easy. Scott was in space for a year, but now it's easy
He's
to remember
very
because Mark
low.
Kelly is a public figure. Anyway,
Yeah, that's true. I vote for. He's got my vote. Anyway,
I really hate this story.
hold on. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that is Steve's.
Steve.
Not Frog Steve's, as I call frogs, are Steve's. But they observed, and this is what many astrophotographers have also observed, this phenomenon, which I thought was interesting because it was the first time I ever heard of it. It's an unexplained green and purple light emissions known as strong thermal emission velocity enhancements, or
frogs.
Steve's.
Dude.
And the phenomenon of these Steves was actually, it's named Steve after like something in the movie Over the Hedge, which I don't remember seeing. It's not Aurora though, even though it's like charged particles from the sun, but it's not Aurora. There's different shit happening. It's maybe related to more of a sky glow type of phenomenon, but nobody really knows what it is or what's
So
causing
they
it.
observed it.
So they saw it, and I just thought that
Does
was.
ISS see it?
I don't think ISS see it, but it's common with astrophotographers. It's only recently, and I say recently, I don't know like how recently, that it's been like the scientific community has then started to pay attention to it and study it and figure out what it is.
I will give them that. I just
No, you don't need to give them that. They just happen to see it. They didn't discover it or anything. So
Right.
you don't need to give them anything. I just thought that
I just hate the idea that rich people buying themselves into space and then say, hey, we've contributed to science somehow.
And
by
calling
doing
them
this stuff.
astronauts as if they have trained and they're,
No, these
for
are-
being
is this
astronauts.
SpaceX? These are
It's
Musk's
SpaceX.
buddies.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
They also did like a thing to like test Starlink by calling Musk in space and shit like this and whatever.
Hate this so bad.
I know. I threw it in there because I was like, ooh.
Oh, Mike's going to get angry.
So we can get angry about it in The Hangover and talk more about it then.
Right.
Okay, but moving on to something a little bit more fun.
Brandon's been raptured.
He was eaten by Frodo.
Did Poe get him?
yeah. Poe traversed space and time to get to Brandon.
I wouldn't doubt Poe could do something like that.
All right, another cool thing with nebulae.
Okay.
The Flame Nebula.
Brandon walks by.
The Flame Nebula image. A Flame Nebula images show star formation turnover for the first time.
I'm sorry. I was looking at dogs.
I know. I was watching Brandon go by.
I was distracted. Okay.
So here's the image of it. All right, this is the image, and this was actually adapted from the article by Sky and Telescope, and so there's like these 3 stars that are circled in here, and so this is just like an example of some of the stars that they were observing in here. They were able to kind of like use technologies to like filter out like background like dust and noise and like other objects that weren't relevant, and what they've done is they have identified a turnover in the initial mass function of a star cluster. What is initial mass function, you ask? Well, I have a definition right here for you. Take a cloud of turbulent hydrogen gas and give it time to coalesce into a cluster of stars. How many stars do you get? And how massive are they? These questions are answered by the initial mass function, which describes the mass distribution of newborn objects in a cluster.
So when you give it time to coalesce on a cluster of stars, what temperature are you putting the oven at? Like 380?
Oh, real fucking hot. Real fucking hot. So basically there's a new...
It sounds like that this can kick that stuff out. I have not seen this in full. I have not seen this this equation or anything.
This
like
is
that.
the first time it's been observed or seen.
It feels like that it can tell you that at 5,000 degrees Kelvin, this is how many stars you'll get roughly, and
That's cool.
10,000 degrees Kelvin, this is how many you'll get, which is a lot less than the 5,000. I bet it's kind of like not so much a bell curve, but it looks a lot like what Planck did. Oh, ow! You bit me. What Planck did, and his thing with radiation.
Well, the new findings suggest that newborn stars and substellar objects, so ones that are like almost stars but not quite stars, become more prevalent with decreasing mass down to the turnover at 12 Jupiter masses. Okay, the study also suggests that the fundamental lower limit of the process through which stars and brown dwarfs form may lie around 3 Jupiter masses because even though James Webb can see things from between like point something solar masses to like to point to 2 Jupiter masses to point something Jupiter masses to point to 2 Jupiter masses, they didn't see anything below 3 Jupiter masses.
Oh, okay.
So that told them that was the limit.
The cutoff.
Yeah. Whoops, I doubled up a note there. So the team was led by Matthew Day Furio from the University of Texas at Austin.
I love the pause.
Were you waiting for something?
No, I was just emoting. So they presented their investigation that of the low mass end of the initial mass function of a nearby star cluster. So the Flame Nebula was the target. It's less than 1 million years old. It's just 30 light years away. And it's suffused with these thick clouds of gas and dust, which normally would be a hindrance to observations. But they were able to pick out these faint sources, point sources, indicating that there were low mass objects in this star cluster. And then they did a bunch of shit to eliminate things or whatever, and they ended up not finding anything below 3 Jupiter masses, which suggests that is the end of the initial mass function.
Okay.
That's the limit. The minimum mass of an object that a turbulent cloud can create through fragmentation is 3 Jupiter masses.
And how do we define a brown dwarf?
It's it didn't get enough mass to start nuclear fusion,
but it's
too big to be a planet.
Because you do have exoplanet. It's not defined, but they'll say super Jupiters, super Earths.
Well, the previous end of the initial mass function was thought to be between 1 and 10 Jupiter masses.
Okay.
So this puts it down to 3 Jupiter masses.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, this is beyond my pay grade, but
no,
I thought it was cool.
I think it's a great. You have this cloud of dust and gas that's out there. How many stars will, based on its math, how many how many stars will it produce of a certain mass? How many sun-like stars we get out of it?
And then how many brown dwarfs?
How many brown dwarfs? Which you're going to get a lot of those, just because it's so much easier to make those.
But it seems that limit is at
red
3.
dwarfs and things like that. And so I've never thought about this, but
other people are thinking about.
I'm going to think about it now because Planck's equation will tell you how much radiation you get at a given temperature, how much radiation you get at a certain wavelength.
There's math to figure out everything, Susanna.
Math is the language of science.
It's math all the way down. My brain.
Math is the language of science.
It.
And so, so I've never thought about somebody producing this equation, but I really like the idea of this. And then you can refine it. So then you can say okay, so I have something like the Orion Nebula. At the end of it all, how many stars can I expect? And you also have to have an idea of blow off with it. So stars that get produced, but then they blow off some of the material that's no longer available for production of stars.
Yeah.
Or brown dwarfs or whatever. So anyway, I really like the story. Thank you for letting me
you got nerdy over it. You got excited over it. you got like it. Well, guess what? In happy news, astronomers discovered doomed pair of spiraling stars on our cosmic doorstep. So, this is from ScienceDaily.com. This is the first
double... Is this all part of the AI?
Huh?
Is this all part of the AI you talked about?
No.
Oh, okay.
Astronomers discover the first double white dwarf binary that is destined, that will 100% explode as a Type 1a supernova. It hasn't been actually seen before. The process that leads to a Type 1a supernova.
Wait a minute, they have not seen the process?
No. It's just the to have a Type 1a supernova, it's this has to happen. You have to have this circumstance to happen. And this is the first time that it's actually this will happen. We will actually see this.
So what you're telling me now
happening.
Is that astronomy and telescopes have the ability to see things that were, things that are, and some things that have yet come to pass.
Yes. This comes from the University of Warwick, which I immediately think Warwick Davis. I just picture a statue of Warwick Davis out front of this university.
All right, but you have to put him in his iconic roles as
he's an Ewok.
Yeah, which one do you see him as?
Well, it's okay.
He's in
Harry
what was
Potter,
the movie?
Then you have to put him as
the Disney movie.
But one of the little teddy bears in Star Wars.
Ewoks.
Teddy bears.
That's not a drink.
It's not a drink.
No, it's not a drink.
Or the other one. that came out recently or 2 years ago.
Yeah,
3 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah. It's
Didn't do well. What's it called?
What was the one? Well, wasn't the one with Val Kilmer? Rest in peace.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Like, pneumonia? All right, anyway.
Well,
okay.
I mean, when you're that anyway.
That old? He's 65.
No, I didn't say that old. When you're that, throat cancer.
Well, yeah, throat cancer. His immune system was fucked.
That's what gets you is pneumonia at that point.
Yeah. Anyway. Yes. So Davis University. No. So this is a high mass compact binary star system that's only 150 light years away. So it's like, hey neighbor. So they're on a collision course. To collide. And so when you have two white dwarfs that collide, you get a type 1a supernova, or if a white dwarf pulls material from a binary neighbor star, it can explode in a type 1a supernova. These are standard candles that are used to measure distances in space and things. When this happens, when it goes supernova, it will appear 10 times brighter than the moon.
I love when that happens.
I love that. So this is the first time that a system like this has been seen, observed directly. The two stars are currently separated by just 1/60th of the Earth-Sun distance. So do math.
1/60th.
1/60th.
Let me guess really quick.
8
million miles?
1.5 million.
Damn.
1.5 million miles.
You did say, I was looking at Work Davis. You
1/60th,
said 1/60th
yeah.
Earth Sun.
Yes.
90, I did 90, so
Sure.
1/60th, yeah, about 1.5.
Okay.
God, he maths so fast.
He does math so fast.
Oh, by the way, Warwick Davis, Willow.
Willow!
I knew it started with W.
That's it. I was like,
Damn
and it's
it.
not legend. That's fucking a different thing. Anyway. Okay, so it will undoubtedly create a type 1a supernova. The orbits currently take a little bit longer than 14 hours. So
That's fast.
pretty fast. But gravitational wave radiation will cause the two stars to in-spiral. And at the height of the supernova event, they will be moving so fast that they complete an orbit in a mere 30 to 40 seconds.
Wow.
Jesus fucking
Wow.
Christ.
All right, so when is this going to happen? You may have said this,
Okay, now.
but I missed it.
Now.
Not like next week. is what
I
you
was
said.
looking
Okay.
up Warwick Davis.
Okay, so now.
Catch a breath.
Okay, words.
It's gonna happen.
It is going to happen.
It's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen in 23 billion years.
23 billion?
23 billion
Jesus.
years. Yeah. So book your tickets now, folks. So Dr. Ingrid Pellisoli, the assistant professor at the University of Warwick, and third author of the paper, added that this is a very significant discovery. Finding such a system on our galactic doorstep is an indication that they must be relatively common. Otherwise, we would have needed to look much further away, searching a larger volume of our galaxy to encounter them.
And isn't the third author like the author that really did the work in the paper?
Oh, of course, must be,
Yeah.
right? Because the first
You
one
got
is
the
like,
department chair,
yeah,
and you got the manager of the person.
and then
you
they
got
all delegate down.
This
So
is
the
such
third
a
authors
letdown.
that the coolest
23 billion
shit is
years.
gonna happen in
Yeah,
23
it's
billion
Like
years.
Andromeda's going to
But-
collide with us before that.
But it, you know what? To
Our
me,
sun's gonna die way long before.
well,
that.
what it feels like, exactly what it feels like is an astronomer coming up with a paper going, hey, we have discovered
The coolest
a star.
shit.
Yeah, this is the coolest shit ever. This is a star that in
A binary star.
like 5 billion years will fluff off its. We
So-
have never seen this. It'll fluff off its outer atmosphere and create a
But-
white
I see where you're
dwarf.
going. I see where you're
But-
going.
And you know what it is? Hold on. It's the sun.
It's the
We've
sun.
never seen it though.
But it doesn't matter because the federal government will purge this paper because of the word binary.
True. But no, it's from the University of Warwick, which is not in the U.S., so they're safe.
It was Warwick Davis. All right.
Praise be.
Yes. Okay. So I thought that was fun. I was like, all right, but 23 billion years, so
that's
don't
long.
hold on to your butt.
Oh, and for reference, guys, the age of the current age of the universe is roughly 13.8 billion years old. So this is almost twice the age of the current universe.
Yes. But
Cheers.
I got good news for you. that current age of the universe, spot fucking on. You know why? Because we got brand new baby pictures of the universe.
Baby pictures.
Brand new
Like,
baby pictures.
Can we like pitch our cheeks?
Are these gonna
and shit like
embarrass?
that?
Yeah.
Are these gonna embarrass the universe? Where
We're
it's
gonna-
like,
yeah.
Mom and Dad, why are you showing like little naked baby
Oh,
pictures?
who's the
of
mom
me?
and dad of the universe?
So new
Jesus.
baby pictures
Oh, okay.
show the universe when it was just 380,000 years old.
Oh, there it is.
These come from the Atacama Cosmology Telescope, or ACT collaboration, which includes researchers from the University of Toronto. And they recently produced the clearest images yet of the universe's infancy from the earliest cosmic time accessible to
Aw.
humans. But according to humans, who knows what aliens see? Who knows what baby pictures they got? Ooh. All right, so...
Well, physics kind of limits them, right?
Well, we don't know. Well, maybe. We don't know. We don't know. We're dumb.
That's
Okay. So, they've measured
Yes,
light.
time travel, Susanna.
They measured light that traveled almost 14 billion years, right, to reach the telescope in the Atacama Desert in Chile. And they have two new images that reveal the universe when it was about 380,000 years old. So, this would be the equivalent of hours-old baby pictures for a middle-aged adult.
So like we're still like gooey, we got stuff on us.
Yeah,
and-
so this would like be like looking at like basically like our baby pictures when we're sitting in when we're in the hospital. Like there is a baby picture of me
Yeah.
when I'm in that hospital thing with the things on me and just
you
like,
have one of those?
Yeah, my parents do.
Oh,
Of me in the little hospital baby.
I guess
crib.
I have no pictures like that.
You don't have any of those?
No.
I got them. I'm just a fat little chunk hanging out in
Oh.
hanging out in the
What was
hospital.
what was your weight when you were born?
Oh, my mom knows, and she's told me, and then I think I just block it out of my brain. But I was a chunk. I might have been like 8.6 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's either 8.6
I
or
was-
6.8. But
I was double digits.
really,
I was a fat
Wow.
little motherfucker.
wow. Oh, I'm sorry. for your
Wow,
mom.
I feel bad for your mom. In that
She brings
being-
it up constantly.
Oh, wait a minute.
As
You
should.
were C-section, right?
I was a C-section.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
your weight
my
didn't
head
matter.
was too big
Because
As-
you were like 8.6
because I was
pounds.
giant. My head got stuck.
As my mom likes to say, they needed the vacuum for me.
Did you come out cone-headed?
Apparently.
I was cone
Yes.
head. I was cone head because I got stuck and they pulled me out. My head was like.
Anyway,
Susanna, though, I do not have pictures of you like in the little.
Hospital
carriage.
crib, that
Yeah.
clear hospital crib.
But she never left the room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she never left the room.
Oh, well,
No,
I don't know
okay,
if I was
no,
in
no,
the
no, take that
room.
back.
I might have been in
She
the
was
room.
born. They took
Right.
her back and they did some stuff.
Yeah, they got to do stuff.
And then they brought her back, and
So-
she basically stayed in her room the whole time.
Oh, nice. One of my favorite stories that my mom likes to tell. First of all, it's called the Bassinets. One of my favorite stories that one of my mom's favorite stories she likes to tell is I was maybe like 9 years old and we were driving by a hospital or something like that. And she says, this is how I said it. And yeah, then you ask, where was used when I was born? Because I was like a New York kid apparently. And she goes, oh, I was by the vending machine. That's not what I meant.
Where were you when I was born? Which? Oh, we have to take a
give
drink.
him-
But what I
Give him
meant
birth.
was, as a 9-year-old, what hospital were you in? Were you in Arizona? What was going on?
Yeah,
You
but
just
that's
didn't know
not
how
how
to-
you said it.
But no, but she says, where was used when I was born? Because I was like a Newsies kid.
This tracks. I mean, look at your glasses. This tracks. All right, so
I love to tell the story about how my dad passed out twice when I was born. It was great.
I don't know this one.
You don't know this
you don't
one?
know this?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. First of all, to answer Susanna's question, yes, you were too good to leave the room, but we left within 24 hours. We were like, "You're the third kid. We got this." All right. So my mom goes into labor. They get me to the U.S. Air Force Hospital in base in Myrtle Beach, South
Myrtle
Carolina. Yeah. And so this is in the 1969. So my
Year
dad
of
doesn't
Woodstock.
even get to go back. He does not even get to go back and watch this miracle of event of me being born with like choir singing. Oh,
angels
when
come
I come
down,
out,
the clouds open up.
Yes.
there's
the
like a
second
whole
coming
beam
right
of light,
there.
shaft of light that comes down. Anyway, my dad passes out, and then eats a nurse's lunch, and then proceeds to pass out a second time.
Another reason nurses are heroes.
And so, that little nurse, she lost her lunch. She didn't get her lunch, and my dad just boom.
When Liz was born, it wasn't the choir. It was
Yes, 100%, 100%. I got the 666 on my head already. It was there. Oh, really? YouTube just notified you that we were starting an hour late? Well, good on you, YouTube.
No, well, we've
Thanks,
been here.
YouTube. Well, thanks for joining us anyway, Jack. We're talking about the baby picture of the universe that devolved into us being born. So back to the baby picture of the universe. I do have an image of it. Here's the baby. Oh, I gotta turn off the nebula. Here's one of the new baby pictures of the universe. It is not okay. It's not the cosmic background radiation, but it's the cosmic background radiation. But it's taken by the ACT collaboration.
Okay.
So there's one image that gives us basically tiny variations in the density of primordial gas, and that shows us the starting point for all of the structure we see in the universe today.
Is red denser?
I don't know.
Right,
the second image tells us the velocity of the gas and therefore its dynamic. So we get like a map of movement of the gas by measuring the polarization of the CMB, the cosmic microwave.
Is this the first or second
background?
Picture,
and it's this is the only picture they had in the article, and. Oh wait, no, I have an image description. Did I put it on this one or was it a different? No, it's on a different one. I put the image description. Anyway, it might be a combination of the two. It basically confirms that the universe is 13.8 billion years old with an uncertainty of only 0.1%.
Okay, so it kind of matches that.
It matches the CMB, basically.
The previous.
It's just a more refined and detailed observation versus the CMB from Planck like a decade ago, basically.
So this is a really good question. Susanna wants to know, she's a little bit confused, wants to know if this is a prediction. No, this is actually what is observed. And so this is...
I'm guessing red is probably denser. Orange to red is probably denser, whereas blue is less dense.
Blue is not.
Yeah.
But so no, this is what is observed.
And this is basically the gas from the early universe. Right. This is the densities and dispersion of gas in the early universe.
Right, and so what you would find
before it formed stars and galaxies.
Right, and so where you have denser stuff is where you're going to find more stars eventually, more stars, and eventually galaxies that arise. Blue's going to be...
And this is just a smaller version of it. This isn't like the whole thing, I think.
Yeah, it's just probably like a tight shot.
Yeah,
And this probably matches up pretty well with the cosmic background radiation.
Now, this is also for you. Susanna, that's a whole nother episode. I'm just going to say right here for time. Hey, we're back. Okay. This is for you. I put this in here. This was a little extra bit of the article that I was like, I could leave this out, but I'm going to put it in for you. But let's talk about the Hubble constant, because you love a Hubble constant. You're a Hubble constant kind of person. There's a Hubble tension that's even going on as well. So this new data provides an important measurement for the Hubble constant.
Okay.
Now, there are measurements derived from the cosmic microwave background that have consistently shown an expansion rate of the universe of about basically 3.26 million light years per second. And that means that a galaxy 1 megaparsec from Earth is receding from us, moving away from us at 3.6 million light years per second.
That's a silly number.
Silly. It's all silly. In contrast, measurements derived not from the cosmic microwave background, but from galaxies but from nearby galaxies indicate the Hubble constant as high as, and I didn't narrow this down into light years, but 73 to 74 kilometers per second, which is more than
per second
greater
per
than,
megaparsec.
yeah, which is greater than what the CMB is showing. So there's a tension there. There's a disparity between what nearby galaxies are showing versus what the CMB, the cosmic microwave background, is showing. However, the ACT team confirmed that the lower value, which comes from the CMB, is correct, or is more constant, is more aligns with that lower value than the higher value.
So the data, hold on, the data
from ACT correlates with the CMB Hubble constant data versus nearby galaxy data is what it's showing. So it seems that the Hubble constant is more aligned with the CMB, what the CMB tells us.
All right, cool.
I don't know. I threw that in for you. I thought you'd appreciate that.
I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Now, this last story, before we go to the hangover and talk about whatever we're going to talk about, I don't really know what's going on in this next thing, but the image of it is pretty fucking cool. So there's two images basically. So the article title from phys.org is James Webb Space Telescope. Webb explores effect of strong magnetic fields on star formation. Basically, magnetic fields fuck up star formation, is the conclusion of this study. Here is the first image right here. I have an annotated one. Now, the larger image, this is from Meerkat, and this is in
holy shit, that's pretty.
Radio. And then the smaller image is from James Webb, a section of it. So what this is an image of the Milky Way captured by the Meerkat radio telescope array. Puts the James Webb Space Telescope's image of the Sagittarius C region in context. The Meerkat image spans 1,000 light years, while the Webb image covers 44 light years. Here is the annotated version of it right here. Sagittarius A. Bonus points for anybody that can answer what that is.
Black hole.
Black hole at the center of our galaxy.
Supermassive black hole.
Supermassive black hole. So we have the Webb infrared image that is just a 6 light year kind of like piece here. So here's what's happening. This is the central molecular zone where a ton of gas and dust is present. And if you have a ton of gas and dust, then you should have a lot of star formation. However, that is not the case. There's not a lot of star formation going on. And so astronomers are kind of like, well, what the fuck? Like, there should be, but why isn't there? And that's because there's basically like a lot of strong magnetic field shit happening because of the supermassive black hole that is there. That is disrupting that gas and dust. So they found that there are these like there are two like large stars that are forming. Hold on, I gotta look at my notes because my brain is like, what's happening? Okay, so there are ejections from still forming protostars, and there's also like some other large stars that are forming, and what they're basically showing is that these protostars are already more than 20 times the mass of the sun, and you have bright outflows that are powered by these protostars. But the challenge was finding like low mass protostars. So protostar meaning like a forming star, like it's not a star yet, but it's gonna become a star. It's a pre-star, if you will. I was just gonna try and make like a Hollywood reference.
I know, I got you. I've been trying to do the same thing the whole episode.
Right. Okay. So these lower mass ones. They're still like shrouded in their own little baby cocoons, their own little.
Mm-hmm.
Rooms.
Yeah, nobody can see you do
of
that.
Gas and dust. But the great thing about James Webb is that it can kind of see through that gas and dust through the wavelengths that it can utilize. And So what they found was that, hold on. That by comparing James Webb's data with like the ALMA and this Meerkat data, that filaments of gas and dust are shaped by the surrounding magnetic fields that are going on. And that they think that the magnetic forces at the center of the galaxy are strong enough to keep plasma from spreading, and they're basically concentrating it into these compact region to form large stars, but not have this massive like boom of star formation everywhere with lower mass stars that are spreading throughout. And the magnetic fields may also resist gravity that would typically cause dense clouds of gas and dust to collapse and form stars, resulting in the lower rate of star formation. Basically, this is a crazy-ass environment where crazy shit is happening, is my personal conclusion from this article. And I really just wanted to highlight this because I thought that this image was just really fucking cool, because the radio image is like, what's going on here? And then you have the beautiful web image, and it's just, I don't know, it was just fun to look at, and I don't know what's happening, and I don't understand any of it, but I just thought it was cool to highlight. So there you go.
Science be pretty.
Science be motherfucking pretty.
I mean, magnetic fields, yeah, they can wreak havoc.
Magnetic fields can wreak havoc.
Yeah. So.
But they can also be pretty negative at times.
Well, that's the electromagnetic field.
I'm unreasonably proud of myself for that one.
That was great. That was great. Anyway, I just want to highlight also my new shirt that Katie got me for Christmas. That was oh god, it's like
that's a cool one.
Hold on, which way am I going here? Oh, got it twisted. It's a little bit big, but that was my fault.
Fuck.
But anyway, it's the solar system, not to scale.
Not to scale.
But more so to scale than normal depictions of the solar system.
I do want to know what just happened to Brandon. Did you get bitten?
Oh, yeah, Frodo bit me.
Oh, Mr. Frodo.
So for those of you not on, the Skype with us, which is ending very soon, Skype in general. For the last 20 minutes, I've been cutting between being on the podcast and having Frodo jump on me.
Yeah.
So I've been in and out the whole time.
Yeah. No, I think, you know what? Our videos now, we can upload a video to Spotify. So we've actually had our videos on Spotify. So people can actually see us on Spotify instead of just listening to us.
Yeah, I watch a podcast all the time they're on video.
That's where I get my podcasts of the show.
Okay. Anyway, so that's some news for recent news in astronomy, cool things, and hot things that are happening out there in the universe.
Sweet.
I remember when the Planck CMB image came out. It was like 10 years ago.
Oh, the face of different one. Okay.
I remember when talking about it in the planetarium that when it was like the universe's age was refined to that 13.8 billion years age, and it was like, holy shit, yes. And this is just the evolution of science showing, okay, here's further study, more detailed imagery from this other telescope, and it confirmed just what we that data.
I like it when like science does like come together on some things like the age universe.
I was gonna make that reference, but differently.
But that's shit I like. But I do also like when something points to new
something
physics
else
somewhere.
God, we want new physics so bad.
Especially,
and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get new physics. We have to.
It's gonna be. It will take more. It'll take longer now than it would have, but it's fine.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna get it because you do have to marry quantum and general theory of relativity, and so they have to be married.
So, do they have to be married? Can they just be in like a domestic partnership?
They have to be married.
One of my least favorite things about Aaron Sorkin is how he treats science with such flippancy. So, for example, in The West Wing, great show. There is a 5-minute scene where they mention, oh yeah, did you hear that scientists found the grand unifying theory? Great, what does that do for us? And they continue upon their day.
This tracks.
Yeah.
With most people.
Uh-huh.
But not for us.
Anyway.
Elizabeth on chat asked if you got a new tattoo on your hand. Yes, he did.
Or you can find out in The Hangover.
Yes, The Hangover coming up shortly, because we're concluding the main episode of High in the Sky for April 2025. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for the shirt, Katie, as she references it in chat. That chat cannot be seen in this show, but you can see chat in The Hangover. So we got a lot of exciting things that came out in the news recently. There's a lot of frustrating things that have come out in the news recently. And if you're an American, just sit tight and resist, and resistance is not futile. But thank you for joining us on this episode of Cosmos to Cosmos. We'll see you next time, where we talk about whatever Brandon thinks of in the next 2 weeks. Follow us on all the things, Cosmos with Cosmos. Check out our episodes of The Shot every other Wednesday on YouTube and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
If you're with us now, stick around for The Hangover, where we shoot the shit. We will be right back.
You have a Davison, a George, and a Riddle. They crash land on an island of cannibals. And of course, they survive the landing, but the cannibals say, we haven't had new people here for a while, so we're going to eat you unless you show us something we have not seen before with these 3 marbles. So we all think for a second.
I have
and
heard
then,
this joke.
And yes. And then the George goes, okay, I have an idea. So the cannibals take him to a tent, and the George levitates the 3 marbles above his hand and has them orbit one another. And they leave the tents, and the cannibals say, we're going to eat you. We've seen that before. Damn it. So the Riddle now is taken into a tent, and the Riddle takes these 3 marbles, and he bounces them around. He throws them over his head. He does fantastic juggling maneuvers. They bring him outside, and the cannibals say, we've seen that before. We're going to eat you. Damn it. And so the Davison is taken into the tent, and the Riddle and the George, they hang out for a moment, for a little bit, and it gets longer and longer until the Davison comes out with a cannibal. And the cannibal comes out, just rubbing his forehead. He goes, I cannot believe it. We've never seen this before. You are safe. And then the Riddle and George ask, well, what did he do? And the cannibal goes, well, they lost 1 marble, and they broke the other 2. So they broke the other one, and they lost the 3rd. We have no idea how that happened.
It's not Tom Riddle, by the way, Susanna. It's not Tom Riddle. It's not.
No, it's me.
It's not Voldemort.
Okay. All right.
It was funny.
I lost my marbles.
You lost your marbles.
I broke and lost my marbles.
It was funny.
You know what? Part of me was like, this is going to end up with like a marble going up someone's ass.
Oh.
I don't know if
That's
the cannibals
not
have seen
even-
that before. Anyway. Where'd the cannibals get the marbles?
From the Mormon missionaries?
That try to... Yeah, okay. Welcome to The Hangover with Cosmos with Cosmos. Cosmos with Cosmos. Our main show.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What?
Oh, it's Cosmos with Cosmos. Is that was actually not Christopher Walken a little bit?
Wait.
All right.
No.
Our main
Pirates?
show.
Oh, by the way,
Parrots? Did you hear
Susanna.
parrots?
Brandon's last name is Riddle. So,
Parrots? Are you hearing parrots, Brandon?
No, there was a horn outside, and it was a theme song or something. I couldn't remember what it was.
I did hear a horn.
I didn't hear the horn.
I heard something.
I'm gonna get it.
Anyway, the main show was High in the Sky for April 2025, where we referenced a joke that Brandon had heard in Prague, and that is what cold opened The Hangover.
Yeah, from Martin, the main Planetarium dude. So.
Yeah. Okay, all right, cool.
Tubular.
This is a problem with drinking beer is burps.
What's the problem with what?
Drinking beer is burps.
Oh, yeah.
So I just drink whiskey.
Fair.
But I do have a new tattoo.
Mike has a new tattoo.
Nice.
Star Wars
Again,
tattoo.
You can't show it without
Oh, that's
second
a good
skin
one.
flare.
Yeah, he's got a protective covering over it.
Yeah, so which makes it really shiny.
So would you
that-
say that this new tattoo is directed by J.J. Abrams?
No, this is not J.J. Abrams.
Because of the lens flare. 'Cause it's
Oh,
flare.
got you. Yes, all right, that's good. That's good. No. But this was a tattoo that I basically told the artist. By the way, if you ever in Eugene, White Rabbit Collective Tattoo.
A tattoo collective.
Is that what we got our tattoo?
Yeah.
So they are amazing. Women owned, women run, and
That's
just
where I get my next tattoo.
all right, just absolutely amazing. Well, if you come out, that means we have to get a tattoo, and I need to start thinking of design.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to
I
get a
can
tattoo.
keep it. Okay.
Anyway, and so basically, I gave Jade, who I consider my artist, the elements that I wanted, and basically it was, here's the Empire emblem, here's the
I'm just going to help you because there you go.
here's the Rebel emblem.
That's cool.
Marry them in some kind of way. I want color, and I want it to be interesting. And this is what she came up with. And basically, she only came up with one design. She says she normally comes up with multiple designs because you never know. But she was like, "This is it." And
This is the one.
And it's the rebel emblem eclipsing the
Empire.
emblem, and
As it
immediately it's more than just Star Wars, because it does really kind of feel like it applies today with Resistance and things like that. So I know that's a long story to answer your question of, yes, I did get a new tattoo.
Excellent. But Liz, do you have a new tattoo ready to go?
No.
Or you tattooed that for a moment?
No, I didn't get anything new recently. Last one I got was a couple months ago when we went to
No, it was
No,
not.
it was not a couple months ago. It was like a month ago. It was a couple weeks ago. No, it was like 3 weeks ago.
It was
2 weeks ago?
It was a few weeks ago.
It was a few weeks ago. Check out our episode on time. It fucking is weird.
Damn it.
Yeah, I did get a tattoo, like the skull moth thing on the back of my calf. So I can't really show it, but it was that's my
a
most
great
recent tattoo.
First,
But your
calf.
ray gun you got is phenomenal. You got this ray gun. I don't know. You can stand up, put your calf on the, put your leg on the, put it up. I'll let you know when we can see it. Oh yeah, look at that shit.
That's cool as shit.
That's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know. I saw that design first. By the
I
way.
did not steal it. I did not steal it.
So next time we go to Seattle, I'm gonna get myself a ray gun because the artist is
You decided to move on.
at a shop in Seattle called No Occult, Not Occult, or something
like
occult
that.
tattoo.
But
I don't know.
I also got that.
That's a good one.
Because
I like how it matches your Star Wars tattoo.
it
the
does
color.
actually. Yeah, the
Yeah,
colors
I mean,
got a lot of
It's
similar...
inverted.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot. I like
it is the same tattoo shop.
You need to add some lotion on that.
What?
You need to add more lotion on
yeah,
that.
I didn't put lotion on it today. I need to.
Gotta lotion up.
I do.
lather up.
But I was like, I gotta get dressed and get to the pod.
Tattoos.
Yeah, so
If we ever win a lottery that we haven't ever played yet,
just takes once. Just take one time.
just say so. Yeah, you can't win if you don't play.
there would
so
be
much money
a
would
new
be going to
Planetarium at
tattoos.
Oak Ridge, and we would just be tatted from shoulders to toes.
Yeah. Speaking of surprising thing, a little Oak Ridge. So yesterday was like big protest day around the country. And Oak Ridge had their own little protest for it, which we couldn't make it because Mike had his tattoo appointment that he made, weeks in advance. But
I will not lose that deposit.
yeah, couldn't lose that deposit. But yeah, we had our own little apparently hands-off rally. I really wish we could have seen how many people actually were out there.
There's probably 5 people.
But driving
and then
around in Eugene.
The Trump kid just driving back and forth.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had some counter protesters as well in Salt Lake, which they were all dressed in their camo and they had the big signs about Doge and Elon and sunglasses. But he stood right next to the giant ass sign that was like 12 feet across that said Elon is a Nazi. So I don't think that point was made.
Wow, that's that's funny. I was wondering if I didn't see any counter protesters.
There was a couple, and it was weird because everyone who is protesting, it's a safe space just up who is there.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no one gonna burn shit down or shoot stuff or whatever. Okay, this
Storm
is a good
the
spot.
state houses.
Yes, but then it's weird when these counter protesters to show up in these camo and they're in these big, trucks and shit. Like there's suddenly a different mood to it. Like you guys are the agitators.
It's got a different vibe.
Yeah.
It's got a different vibe.
A violent vibe. In fact, actually, I was reading. I was kind of like scrolling through like news stuff, and it was just like all about like everybody's so like peaceful and nice and and no destruction. And
they were singing the Clash in the Capitol. Like, not the Clash. I'm sorry, not the Clash. The Cure. Like, come on, we're singing the fucking Cure. We're not about to have destruction.
Yeah, and there was even one post I saw like that in New York City that somebody was asking like the officers, the police that were there, and they were like, well, they're like, we don't really want this broadcasted, but we only have 40 officers here. We didn't realize it was going to be so big, but there hasn't been a single issue.
There were 6,000 protesters in Salt Lake. We had 4 police officers.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it wasn't the Cure's Tears for Fears.
Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was worldwide. Worldwide, it was millions of people.
Yeah,
and so,
I like how Susanna somehow ended up at a protest on accident. She
That happens
those
once in a
happened,
while.
just
So-
happened
It
to me.
happens.
so this whole story, she told me this whole story this morning. They were going to Payway. Her and some friends were going to Payway, and they stumbled upon the protest, and then they were going, "Hey, we're still hungry. Let's still try to go to Payway." And then they stumbled upon like this culture festival that was happening, and so all this stuff unplanned, just trying to go to a restaurant.
Did you get your payway, Susanna? Did you get it?
Oh,
You can pay your own way.
Oh my god! Now I had hiccups.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was
so-
I was driving. While Mike was getting his tattoos done. I
Take a
was
drink.
like, I know. I was. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh no, it's the worst nightmare. It's
No, this is
hiccups during a
hiccup.
show. It's the worst nightmare.
burps.
I
This is
was
hiccup.
I was trying to get some errands done because we were in civilization, and so I had to drive across this bridge to get back to it. And so protesters were lining the bridge, and they had their signs up, and so I'm like honking and waving and like, yeah, and people are waving at me, and I was like, all right, I feel like I got to participate even though I wasn't out there with a sign.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So, it's been a rough 3 months. Let's be honest. It has been.
It's been 3 months.
Yeah, and yeah, that's all it's been. It's been a rough 3 months, and 3.5 months at this point. We have 3 years, 8.5 months, but
No one has retirement anymore.
Oh my god.
with all the people, just normal people, everyday people that are standing
It
up,
was uplifting. It was hopeful.
it
was.
does give
The vibes
hope.
are high.
It does give hope that things will change, that this is just temporary, that nothing lasts forever, and we will get through this, and we will come out stronger and better, and the world will be brighter
Faster.
in the end. I do want to just rip into like a Samwise speech of, there are things that are worth fighting for and all that. But, I mean, it's true. And
Or a day will come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
it is
not
not
this day we
No, we
die.
don't have to take a drink. We don't.
Oh, that was such a good sign. God damn it.
That would have been
Okay, so next time.
next time.
Next time.
There's
But-
going to be plenty
Next time.
more. There'll be
Write it
plenty
down.
more.
But this is not going to last. And the Democratic Party, who are basically soft Republicans who aren't doing anything,
Yes, let's skip to the
yes, it is us. It is us who are going to resist.
Well, we the people.
It is us who are going to fill the streets and protest, and we will get through this, and Trump will die one day.
Fact.
And it'll be like
Fact.
it will be like the Emperor in Star Wars when
Oh, but he came back.
That's the second term.
well
yeah,
Somehow.
that's true.
Yes, somehow.
That's true.
and the celebrations that were all across the
It'll be
country.
like the Ewoks.
We're
Yes.
gonna have a big Ewok
Yum,
party. Don't say that.
Yeah.
No, it's a fact. Every human being dies.
It's like the
There's
flaming
not-
lips someone said.
There's not a single human being
Everyone,
that has not died.
someday.
Yeah.
I've yet to die yet, so I'm not sure if that's actually true.
Well, so far,
did-
not a single human being
have
has
a
not died.
fear the other day where it just hit me. What if they just grab me off the street and I end up in El Salvador?
You're
How do I
not-
prove that I'm
Well,
an
you got plenty of
American?
gang tattoos all over you.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, look, that's a gang tattoo right there."
You're a
You're
white.
MS-13.
You're a white male. You're fine.
That's true.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Like those PhD students that were just pulled off all the street. Yeah.
Also, don't forget to sign petitions. See our shot episode on calling your representatives,
Call your representative.
all that kind of stuff.
5 calls.
And
5calls.org.
Resist. And as I was reminded the other day, I do have to look this up, so I will just try to randomly talk.
And then after this, we're going to change the subject to
Okay.
something.
I do
like
want to
we're-
point out while you're looking that up that I've been rewatching Gilmore Girls, because it's
Hell yeah.
something nice and heartwarming, and I love it.
I've been
But
watching Wicked constantly.
the term vibe has come up in many episodes of Gilmore Girls, and I'm like, Gilmore Girls has been using vibe.
I thought vibe was newer than that.
I know Gen Z stole it, or
Wow.
whoever stole it from Gilmore Girls, because they were using vibe long before it was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, also, have you guys seen Wicked?
No.
No.
You gotta watch Wicked.
All right.
Trust me.
Here's the quote.
So says everybody.
Here's the quote that I was reminded of yesterday.
Okay.
Living your life is an act of protest when they don't want you to.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's no, seriously. All right, Brandon sent it to me, but
If you remember,
it's a great quote.
When we got drunk in Prague, I said that. We were at some random ass bar with Federico, a friend of the show, and some other people, and like I was pretty damn tipsy at this point, and I initiate conversations, but I don't always contribute to them, as you know.
Yeah.
Classic.
But at some
Brandon.
point, I had to step in and go, no. Living your life is a form of protest when they don't want you to, because we still need to enjoy our lives. We need to live for a purpose. And so even if you cannot go out and protest and make these differences, still living and enjoying yourself is a sign of protest.
Yeah, and
Don't let the man get you down.
but also not you know. All right, I mean, Trump, let's be honest, wants us to turn into like really a big North Korea, where everybody holding your breath. Anyway, where everybody looks the same, acts the same, and I refuse to do that. Maybe it's the punk in me. I don't know. Yes, and so no, be yourself. You look like a chipmunk.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Let it be known.
And yeah, and so being who you are, whatever who you are is a great way of protesting everybody looking the same, having the same haircuts, all being patriots, whatever the fuck that means, and all that. And
One of the things.
so dance like no one is watching, but do it in the middle of the street where everybody is fucking watching, and be yourself.
Yeah. When Trump was first elected, I memorized the Emerald Lazarus poem. The Statue of Liberty poem, because
Right.
it just felt right. Like, how fucking dare you guys? We're the melting pot. Give us your huddled mouses and yearning to breathe free. How fucking dare you? So it makes me angry.
Yeah, that was a whole big
It
draw
does.
for this country is
Yeah,
a better
that's
life.
that's why we exist. You dumb fuckers.
So all I can say is we're only 3 months into this, but we are going to survive this. We're going to survive it. All of these fuckers are they're on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, so let us actually just know that it's all temporary. We will survive this. And to quote Susanna, Brandon, I want to hear about your thoughts on Wicked.
Oh my god, everybody at my work when Wicked came out was like, oh my god, Wicked.
I do want to watch it because we have it
We
like
can watch it.
on Plex.
It's on
We
Disney.
have
It's on Plex.
It's on Disney,
Plex. I can
too.
confirm that. It's on
out
Disney as well.
It's out on Disney.
Yes.
So we should
I have
watch it.
tickets in 2 weeks to go see Wicked live. And I'm very excited about that because I have no idea I know how it ends. Wait a minute. I know how Wicked ends.
Yeah,
But
Wicked.
you gotta enjoy the full ride.
House meets Witch.
Well, that's a different witch.
That's a different witch that
Wait a minute.
makes her.
Wait.
extra angry.
Which witch?
Which
Oh,
witch?
Isn't it the Wicked Witch of the...
It's her sister.
Oh, it's her sister.
Elphaba.
Alphaba.
Elphaba's sister or whatever. This is like the backstory to Glenda and.
You know all right.
It's on Plex and Peacock. So for everyone else, not between myself, Mike, and Liz, it's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock. Okay.
Susanna's on my Peacock. No, wait a minute. She's not on my Peacock. She's on my Hulu.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Ready?
I don't.
Who's reading the book?
Hey.
With 3 things. And you know
That's
what?
cool.
The neat thing about it, there's a map.
Ooh, you do
It's all very exciting.
You do like a.
Okay, all right. We were watching Jeopardy, and there was this lady who was like all about maps, and she says something, and then you said something, and then
Was
I
it
was
maps?
like, yeah, and then I was like, and then I said in my head, while all this was going on, I said in my head, I like maps.
Oh, there was another lady that was talking about, I forget what it was, and I was like, oh, Brandon and her would get along because it was like something.
No. It was she did something with.
You mentioned it a few times. Was it the librarian or something like
No,
that?
that was a different one. That was like, oh, this is
Yeah, and it was
lamp.
But like I don't know. It's like maybe
Oh
she
yeah,
was.
I mean maps are. Where she made the maps. She spent her
Yes.
free time.
She was a cartographer.
She would take maps and then make different things that was like the amount of like whatever in one area or whatever. So she would like make different
like
maps
how many,
of different.
like what states had dogs and what states had mainly cat owners.
Yeah, like
Okay.
something like that type of
So
of like map
did Maine
statistics.
have a bunch of Maine Coons?
I see what you did there. But I was like, oh, I like maps.
yeah.
I do
I mean,
like.
I was like,
I can relate to Bilbo when he's like looking at maps.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, and I do love maps.
One map near me that I can see. 2 maps near me. I have 3 maps within arm's reach of me.
I had that.
We have to. All right, Susanna in the Hangover. All
yeah,
Lord of the Rings references.
Yeah, we don't drink
are-
'cause-
I mean,
Because
all.
all we do in Hangover is quote Tolkien. That's what this is.
Yeah, so we
I
suspend the
used to
rules.
have like that. I had that map that was like a I don't know 1500s like
one of-
1600s map of the world.
One of my favorite maps near me is this map here.
Hey, the golden record.
I don't know where to put this yet, so it's next to me.
I figured you'd find a spot somewhere.
But like, I realize it's really the only map we have in the house. But I love the Middle Earth
Oh,
map.
our Middle Earth map. Yeah, in
Yeah.
the Shire bedroom.
It's in the Shire bedroom.
of course, I have.
So
This
Susanna, if you
cool
ever.
Ooh.
Susanna, if you ever wanted to get me a birthday gift, just get me a map, and I'll be like, oh, like,
Yeah, we have a map of the Milky Way right here. If that's what you're.
Oh,
referencing,
yeah.
Elizabeth. Yeah.
Oh, that counts.
Look, you are here.
okay,
We are here. This is. You can't see the light. Doesn't. It's too overexposed in
it's
the
too
video.
overexposed.
But oh no.
Yeah.
Gotta
Oh,
be
did
careful.
you-
gotta
I
be
have
careful
another
light off.
map that
Where-
I
this
think
is where
you
we
guys
live.
gave me. It's on the wall, so I can't bring it down. But it's a map of the moon. It's a lunar chart, and I think you guys gave it to me.
That might have come from.
I think
Science
but I think you guys gave it to me.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Nobody
yeah.
goes listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
We
do.
got that inflatable moon map.
Yeah, I do love maps. I don't know why.
Wait. What's your favorite map?
I
Well,
like
like I
those.
said, it's
I
the
like
Earth
the
map.
like medieval maps of the world because they're just like
Oh, yes.
how
The
they're
serpents,
drawn
the
out.
monsters.
Yeah, I like
Yes, on the
those kind of
edges.
maps.
That's good.
Like
Yeah, I think it's because, all right, when I was a kid, I would go out and I would look at the stars. This is no lie. I'm not kidding with this. And when I was a little kid, I loved the stars. I loved the planets and all that kind of stuff. They were basically my favorite things in the universe. And I would love to think about like, oh, I would see the sky and think, oh, Beetlejuice. What's it like being there? What does the sky look like there?
hot.
And so maps are ways of like doing that. It's like I can look at this map and go, I wish I was in New Zealand. What does the world look like? What does the universe look
it's
like
like
from that location?
perspective, orientation.
Yeah.
It's imagination.
Captain John Luck Picard. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
She just spelled it wrong. It's fine.
Oh.
But
Yeah, and so that's what maps do for me. It gives me a window to a new place, especially something like a map of Middle Earth, which is this just foreign world. Or like you're looking at a map of like Mars or the moon and things like that, and there's these like just all these crazy ass locations that you will never experience in your life. And so I don't know, I've had some drinks, so
Yes.
this is rambling.
No, I've never considered the idea of what does a map mean to me. Like, of course, I love maps. I love looking at maps, studying them, XYZ. But I've never taken the time to think, what does it mean to me in general? So that's an exciting thought to have.
Yeah, I mean, it represents like different places in the universe, whether
And
it is
it's weird
made
because
up.
it's both potential and history at the same time, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Like the untold stories that this map from the year 1500 has. So it's potential and history.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Especially those older maps, because it's like they don't know, they haven't discovered like
And
half
it's-
the world yet, so
And
they're
it's
just making
the
it
same
up.
reason why I love old books. Like I love picking up my old science books from 1820 and how half of it is wrong and the other half is almost right.
Yeah. It's
right,
like,
but you're looking at it from this modern perspective. So if you want to hear more about this, you can check out our episode on Aristotle, which apparently I like.
contentious.
See, I don't recall that, but it was I was
Applying
hosting that,
a
so who
modern
knows?
view on, but anyway,
No
but
historical
yeah,
context,
so
though,
you can, but like in physics, it's like oh, what's his face? The guy who unified electromagnetism. Oh
Late
my,
struggle.
Bohr.
no, oh shit!
Stanley.
It's his equations. It's his fucking
Planck.
equations. All right. Anyway,
Quark.
Maxwell.
There we go.
Maxwell's equations, which basically unifies.
Great
the-
plan of cassette tapes. in the past.
Yeah, exactly. He invented them. He unifies electromagnetism
Magnetism.
forces. And so, not Planck. That comes later. And so you can look at how Maxwell is seeing the universe. And then you include...
He's seeing it really well.
like Newton and all of that. And then you go, in 40 years, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be shown to be completely wrong. And I don't know. It's crazy. So you can see that with maps. Like... you can see these like 1600 maps,
And you go, this is not
1600s
correct.
maps of like Europe, Africa, and the Americas, and it's just like this is all going to be changed. And but then you can see the evolution of discovery, whether it is physics with Maxwell,
Would
to Planck,
one call
to
that
Einstein,
a
to Planck.
voyage of discovery?
Oh, and for reference,
Hey.
that was a thing that we had at Arizona Science Center.
And
And
also Voyager.
yeah, and so you actually can see this voyage of us understanding stuff, or understanding of the universe. And
Okay, I got a pitch now. All right.
All right, let's
Okay.
hear it.
We got pirate ship, captain, Max Planck, and then you have the crew as
He's a
other
captain?
scientists. But then when anybody disobeys, you got to walk the plank. Nothing else is fleshed out on that idea except for walk the plank.
yes, actually, everyone here is from the Science Center. So, okay, hold on. Everybody,
you, Brandon, Elizabeth.
everybody
to-
that's
Now, to
seen
be
is
okay.
in the podcast.
So even if I never worked there, I still would have seen Mike at some point, and I still would have seen Liz at some point. So
That's
it's
true.
one of those 7 degrees where
It is.
even if I never worked there, I still would have seen both of you in some respect.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
Yeah, so Elizabeth, yes. Jack, no. Jack is nerd of North Star, so no. Federico is he's
But
in
it's
Italy.
Planetarium family.
But God damn it,
So-
I would have found Federico. I would have found him.
Yeah, it's crazy though how much the Planetarium community is a family.
Oh, so I was talking about this 2 days ago with my current boss, how incestuous the planetarium community is. Because I'm trying to reach out to somebody. Like, oh, hey, he worked with Joe Eakin in UNT, and he works with this person now. Oh, shit, okay. Tell Joe I miss him. So it's funny, once you're in the planetarium community and you start making those slight connections, like you're 2 degrees away from anybody in the community.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's tight-knit. We all kind of know each other, whether it is just by name or actually, luckily, in person.
Or by shitty reputation, me, hey.
And so it's, I don't know. It's like a family. Like we have our
It's just a bunch of
families.
space nerds.
We have our families that we were born into.
It's our chosen family.
And then we have our chosen families.
Space family.
And so a lot of times, like, you do hope that the family you're born into hopefully is also a chosen family. It doesn't always work out that way for some people. That's a sad thing, but yeah, and so you do have your chosen family, whether your chosen family is LGBTQ plus and a bunch of letters that have been added, or
that's what the plus is for.
That's the plus.
Yeah.
That's
what the plus is for.
Yeah, but
we can only say so many letters at once.
But then they keep adding letters.
We can
tongue twister.
What if we replace the plus with the multiplication factor?
Times.
Yeah,
Exponent.
or whether it is
Cubes.
your for Susanna for the OT world or the planetarium world, we have
OT
these,
meaning occupational therapy.
yes, we
Thank
all
you.
have these.
I did not know that.
Okay.
We all have these chosen families that we belong to, and it actually is what makes the world brighter. When when you have certain people that are trying to make us all one family, having this, and this is going to piss off that particular group of people, but having this rainbow of, families, it just makes the world better.
Jack says, I would have probably given Brandon detention for making a pure cry for using Lord of the Rings on another student. Then he would have stayed in my class 5th through 8th. I'd stay in Jack's class all day.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Especially if you're making those cookies.
Does he take those to class stuff?
Oh my God.
Can we work at your planetarium, by the way?
That's right.
I don't want to move to Iowa,
I feel
can we work
like
remotely?
Jack could just like make candles, but then just all the scents that are just in his house can just be infused into the candle itself.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. I don't know.
No one knows. That's why we're here in this crazy rotating ball of rock around a really hot thing.
That'll be here no matter what we do to it. For at least another, roughly, I don't know, 2 to 4 billion years, depending on,
Yeah,
Unless we drop
expansion.
a real big ice cube on the surface of the sun, then we'll win. Like a real big ice cube.
How big of an ice cube would you need to cool the sun?
Oh my God.
Would a really big ice cube cool the sun?
How big of an ice
would
cube?
an ice
It
cube
would
matter
not.
if you're adding mass to it?
Okay,
That's
all right,
the key,
but
isn't it?
here's the thing. It might cool the surface,
But you're adding mass
Oh,
to
but not the
But-
internal.
it.
It's
but-
yes, yeah.
Not nuclear fusion.
but
Okay.
up underneath of that is
So
all
you're
that
actually-
nuclear fusion.
On the great, what do you want to call that? What do you call that? In the great seesaw of
that what you're
hydrostatic nuclear fusion,
Uh-huh.
you're actually adding the mass. So the temperature doesn't matter at all. It's the
Oh.
mass. Unless, nope.
But also nuclear fusion's going on, so whatever dip in temperature is temporary.
You know what the wildest thing is about stars?
Okay, wait. Let's think about this for a second.
All right, wild
So I'm going to say the pure fucking size of the star. A million
but-
Earths fit inside the sun. That's wild as shit.
But that's our sun. But then you have like little red dwarfs that are small for stars.
What about white
But
dwarfs?
then you have like really, really big. I like how Jack's like, I mean, what would be great if you said 42
Trillion
iron-dipped Skittles units.
Oh, yeah, because iron, that'll stop that
wait,
nuclear
42
fusion.
trillion? Not nearly enough Skittles. Not nearly enough.
We've done the sun and Skittles.
We've done it a couple times.
Yeah, I should look that
Is that
up
on the
again.
cloud? Did you have the control panel page on the cloud?
Oh, okay, for the cloud, by the way, this means Digistar
This is a
Cloud.
planetarium thing.
I don't think that I put it up on the cloud.
Can you put it on the cloud for me?
Okay.
Or at least send me the
Or you
page.
just send him.
All right,
Just
yes,
send
I
it to
will.
you.
I will put it on the cloud.
So one of the things that just blows my
Do we
mind
have
about
to tell
stars.
what this means? I created this thing for the planetarium where you could press buttons on this page and it will tell you how many Skittles fill that object.
Is that it can take like a photon, like 100,000 years to reach the surface.
More than that, yeah.
More than that, a million years. I can't remember what it was because it's been a while, but like to reach the surface of the sun. Because there's like a hole, it goes down and then up and then out until it finally reaches our eyes, which takes 8 fucking seconds.
8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes. God, I can't with the things, but
Welcome to The Hangover.
8.5 minutes to reach us, but that photon that hits you and gives you skin cancer, it's been fucking trying to escape the sun for like 1 million years.
Yeah, and then it's like, freedom! For 8.5 minutes, and then it hits your eyes,
then
and it's
it's
like,
like,
I'm done.
And-
done.
But I have been rereading Red Mars, Green Mars, Blue Mars.
Hell yeah. Kim Stanley Robinson.
Yes, and so I am in Green Mars right now, and there is a part where
I'm sorry, Jack just wants enough to make the sun a fun Cepheid variable.
there's a part in the story where a character named Sax, who has undergone like basically cosmic.
Don't spoil anything for
Sa-
Elizabeth. She just got those books.
Sax is heavy into science, right?
Yes.
That's it. That was him, right? That was
Oh,
him.
I thought it would be like
so
the
he's
saxophone.
the science guy, and it's all about science and pure science and that type of thing.
Pure science specifically is a difference in this point.
And so, oh wow, you started in the middle.
Wait.
Oh, wait a minute. All right, no, you just had it and you bought it. But anyway,
No spoilers for her. No spoilers for her.
Oh well, then I can't tell the story.
Can't
but
tell
No,
the story.
okay, but just know it's a really good story. And in a couple weeks...
I haven't read it yet either. You know what? Maybe I should start reading it. Maybe that's the next book I read. I'm reading like what did I start? Oh, I started reading back Lovecraft's fucking thick ass. I'm on the. I just finished. I just finished The Witch of the
right.
Dunedain.
But
something.
Dunedain's different.
Dunedain.
But Lovecraft is heavy. It's dry. It's very dry.
I pick it up every now and then, but I also got this Penguin book that's like about like stories of the undead that just go through like mentions
Necropolis.
of like ghosts and
Yes.
shit throughout like throughout historical texts and stuff, which is really fun and interesting to me, even though it's like would be bland for
Speaking
most
of
people.
ghosts and shit, Einstein's Shadow, perhaps.
Oh shit, who's that by?
Ooh.
So it's about the first picture. A black hole, abandoned astronomers, and a quest to see the unseeable by Seth Fletcher.
Oh,
I just started it. I'm very excited.
Oh.
All right. Well, they want to know the end of this story. I mean, it's not.
Okay, close your ears, Elizabeth.
No,
Close
it's not. All right. So Sax undergoes a like cosmetic surgery procedure, and so he looks different.
Oh,
he's
face-off
one of the first
situation?
100 that actually lands on Mars. And so Sax this is many years later. He undergoes this procedure where it changes his look, and he runs into this lady named Phyllis, who was also one of the first 100.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get along or anything like that. There's this whole other story that
fucking
goes
Phyllis.
with it. But god damn it, because we went in this different direction. Oh, I remember. So in his dealing with Phyllis, and after undergoing this cosmetic surgery, he changes his name, and it makes
What
him
an asshole.
yeah, and so it makes him have to change the way that he acts and interacts with people.
So he has to forcibly change his
So
personality.
he's
Right.
on the spectrum.
But there is a reason why he has to do this, which you'll have to read the books to find out.
Oh.
But
If you want to know more.
But in this conversation that he has with Phyllis, somebody talks about light and how, because you said like it goes 8.5 minutes and it enters your eyes and it's basically done. But then but in the book Green Mars, he talks about how light just happens to miss Mars on its way out, or you have one beam that's this photon that's going to miss Mars and go out into the universe and go out, but then some of it goes into your eyes and then is intercepted and then disappears from the universe. But he can't say that because that would tip off to Phyllis that he's really Sax and not this other personality that he's now has to be for other reasons, which read the book to find out why.
Okay. Interesting.
But don't just take my word for it.
It's done.
Okay, you're back. You can unmute. Unmute.
I mean,
you can unmute. You say to the muted person.
No.
I really.
So
it doesn't really, impact what I told. Doesn't really impact the story in any kind of way.
So what we're saying is between maps and fiction is that the imagination, the idea of what can happen, it gives us a path towards hope.
Yeah, I have dived into books, at least Green Mars, Red Mars, Green Mars, Blue Mars lately.
How many times have you read them?
This will probably be third
I think I'm
or
on
fourth time.
3. Yeah, 3. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just one of those stories where it's an easy read. It's got some science to it.
Wait. Let's back things up for a second. So it does have some science to it. It can be an easy read, but if you're not scientifically literate immediately, there's some thought process that has to go into it. You have to think about, what does this geology mean? Because he loves explaining. He's like Tolkien explaining a tree, but he's Kim Stanley Robinson explaining a rock.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to have a background, or you just kind of blank out for a couple paragraphs, because the human story is still very followable, but he explains some geology for sure.
Right, but basically, the premise is, at least at first, is there's 100 people that show up on Mars, and they are going to be colonists. So these are permanent.
And that's by
residents.
like 2029, right? 2030, 2032.
It's in a couple years.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close in time, but everybody's different, and it tells the story of how these, like, you have the people that do not want to change Mars in any kind of way. They're represented by this lady named Anne.
Of course, you always got to have your like fundamentalist or your purists, your purists.
And then you have,
which makes sense though at the same time.
You have all these different characters, and you see how it all kind of interacts and stuff.
I mean, look, if you want a planet with like rivers and shit, just stay on Earth.
I think a great future episode is for us to read the books and really dive into, hey, keep Mars as it is, or send people and settle Mars. I think that'd be a fabulous
Should we
episode.
do like a once or twice a year, like a Cosmos with Cosmos book club episode or something?
We really should. We really should. I think the first book's really got to be Red, Green, Blue Mars, just because we've talked about it. But I do have to say, because Susanna brings this up, Harry Potter. Harry Potter, I realize that you do have people that go, well, I'm a fucking adult, I'm not going to read Harry Potter.
Well, fuck you.
But Harry Potter is a great series of books. You can apply that to, the real world. But we all know wizards exist.
Expelliarmus.
Yes, and so if you have read Harry Potter, reread it. You're going to get something new out of it every time. If you haven't read Harry Potter, you're just I don't know what to think about you right now.
I
but
haven't read Harry Potter.
it, and you're gonna find.
You're in for a fucking treat, Liz.
My Katie bought me all the books. She gave me all
No,
the
but
books.
you've seen the movies.
Yeah, I've
so
seen the movies,
you
so
know-
it makes me a little bit like.
no, it's
No.
very different. It's
I know
like
it's
getting
different.
a broad view.
No, it's different. It's different, but you generally know the story, and you have an idea of what Harry Potter represents. You also have an idea of what Slytherin. What
I know there's more to
Voldemort.
it in
You
the
can
books
get that
and the
within 5
movie.
seconds.
Yes, no, but yes,
And Hufflepuff for the rest. Yay.
but definitely read the books because the books will give you so much more.
I know. I need to read the
It's
books.
like reading. It's like reading Lord of the Rings.
I haven't read
you
Lord of the
get
Rings
all
either.
these extra details.
Look, I'm a visual person.
That's okay. That's okay.
Books take me a while.
I'm just
'cause
saying, the fact that Mike said once or twice a year to have a CwC book club
I said that.
excites me.
I said that. It was
Yeah, it was
my
lit.
I
suggestion.
apologize.
You know,
Liz said that.
I just
I'm
The
a couple
non-reader
I am a couple
suggested it.
drinks in at the moment, and I like books, so let's fucking do that. That will not be the next episode. It will be a future episode.
We can-
But this
we'll
all
plan
excites
that
me
out.
greatly.
We'll plan.
all
that
right.
out.
So,
But hold on. Here's the thing, though: is if we recommend a book, people have to read it or listen to it, and then they have to join us and we
yeah,
have a
that's what
conversation about it.
we're gonna do. Like a couple of episodes ahead. Like, hey, go read.
No,
Where's Wilder
it-
Volume
it-
6?
It needs to be a couple months ahead. We
months.
all have lives. Yes, the three of us might read it
And
like
we
that.
will take recommendations because it's possible between all of us there's a book we've not read. So give us a recommendation. We'll see. We'll talk. And we'll find out what the first book club meeting is. Frankly, it may be Red Mars just to get out of the way. But yeah,
Okay, we'll announce it
it's
next
that
episode.
or First Corinthians. So you be the judge.
First Corinthians. It will not be First Corinthians.
Let's discuss it offline.
Did you say we're going to announce it next week?
Yeah, let's announce it
Next
next
show?
episode.
Okay,
we'll
yeah, we can
announce
do
it
that.
next
And
episode.
the next episode
And the
is, and I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for
Yeah,
Just
to
make sure to show up for
that
it.
next topic that we got planned for you in 2 weeks is gonna be great. That next topic. All right. Well, on that
right.
note, that was fun. Okay.
Yeah, good
We
time.
had a good talks.
You went like really high pitched there.
Maybe it's okay to have a good talk. Mike is high voice with us.
All
Mike
right.
is
We thought of something new
You
and fun to
literally-
do with the
You literally just
show.
called the dogs. You called
Mike
Leia.
has helium. Mike has helium.
We thought of new stuff to do with the show, so check us out in a couple weeks for our next main episode. Jack lives in a young adult fiction. That's fine, Jack.
Same.
You know.
I don't. Yes. Okay. So
I was gonna reread Hunger Games too, but anyway,
Oh, have
You're,
you seen
wait a
the
minute,
new
hold
one?
on. You're
No.
rereading Hunger
I
Games?
always
it's-
thought about it.
Oh.
So actually, the new Hunger Games movie, I say quote unquote new from
You
like
mean
2 years
book?
ago. Yeah,
The prequel.
book. It's also a movie.
Oh,
Yeah, the prequel.
okay, that one.
It's a really. I was expecting to dislike it. Real good. It's real good.
Okay, okay,
Oh, what was that one?
I
called?
enjoyed-
Not as good as Wicked. BT Dubs,
okay,
but real good.
okay. Sun Catcher. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway,
Like that.
I don't know. Anyway,
I-
anyway.
See our episode on time.
Anyway, yeah, check out our episode on time because time's wild. But thank you guys for joining us on this episode of The Hangover, where of course we just shoot the shit out of the main episode as the alcohol filters through our
Soaks into our epidermis.
our bloodstream. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with a
And I'm
new
so
episode
excited
on
to
something.
talk about.
And we will then introduce the first book and then the time frame and the logistics of the very first ever Cosmos of Cosmos book club episode.
Exactly.
So stick around for that. Thank you guys for joining us. Follow us on all the things Cosmos. We'll see ya next time.
Cheers,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Stay protesting.
All right, I'm shutting it down. It takes me to.
We going down.
I
We
gotta
out.
go through a whole
In.
thing.
It'll be
Like
1
20
p.m.
seconds.
Pacific time. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Ish.
Bye.
Time is meaningless. And